Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans, thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era, built on the history that brought us here, shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
I don't have that. I took it off. Oh, okay, good. No, I don't know. I just saw it look different. So yeah.
Guelph Royals last time out, they just tried to catch Barnes for them again. 14 to 4 score up there inside again. Remember they started off with a lot of runs, just trying to catch that they started. I think you did their offense really started. And that was the last one you're having an extra base. It wasn't even me. When the team was going down, they're starting out when the team was lower point of the team, and one of the guys that I finished you don't put that much good right or else it's not the rule. Make sure he's like the current rush I seen that in years past. No, that's sure the longest in particular. That worst thing to see is the depth of the condition involves the way of what can do this. I don't know if some of that one or not. They're making us down in fifth place. We will see what kind of games we get here today. You have the momentum. You're right back. This ball game.
For your Guelph Royals.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, apologies for working through some audio issues here, but I believe we have them sorted out. So again, I'll say Zach Benoit alongside Marshall Crocker here for this one. So Guelph Royals taking on the Brantford Red Sox. Guelph coming off a 14-4 victory. Brantford, they had a close battle against the Welland Jackfish. They lost it in extras 6-5. But Marshall, to your point, you were saying to me, it looked like Brantford playing a kind of a different brand of baseball.
Fans there in Hunt Anderson. But I think this team really wanted to prove their mettle, prove that our ability does travel both on offense and from a pitching perspective. I heard firsthand Brian Essery over there in Welland was really impressed. He said it was the best he's seen in terms of our depth, particularly from a pitching perspective. The bullpen for Brantford, the depth has really been improved, and that really comes through on the road. That game in Welland is one that you go into extra innings against a team like the Jackfish. They're giving it their best punch. They are trying to battle with teams just like Guelph. We're seeding in the first round of the CDL playoffs. I think you really test your mettle when you're a team like Brantford. How good can we be playing spoiler down the road in 2026 against these top teams with these playoff rosters? Playing a playoff team where these teams are trying to install, trying to use the exact lineups they're going to use in the playoffs. If you can beat that team, getting set for next season's big improvement, you're in for a pretty good run of form. And that's why I think Brantford, if they can run it back here today, has a very nice shot against Guelph. But the Royals, obviously, a very hot lineup as well.
Yep, well, the Brantford Red Sox, they will be taking on here Elvin Liriano, and now We'll take a quick look here at the Brantford Red Sox lineup. At the top, Jacob Cantor leading things off, followed by Brody Black. Chris Ortega, who had a home run last time he was here, batting third. Christian Kazemka batting fourth. Tim Holk fifth. Francisco Hernandez sixth. Lucas Fevrier seventh. Walker Holtgren eighth. Cassidy Watt rounds out the lineup in the 9 spot.
Yeah, real next. Brantford, everybody's got good speed on the base pass. Everybody's got a good contact profile. A bit more power, like you talked about. Black and Ortega. The JC takes the first pitch outside, as he's often known to do.
Cantor has been a terrific player here for the side of the Brantford Red Sox. Last time he was here in Hastings playing the Royals, he was a havoc on the base paths, and that's what Elvin Liriano had to deal with. We saw a couple of long holds that Liriano was going through to try to disrupt the timing of Cantor on base, but into that bat here, 1-1 count to the leadoff man. The pitch rocks back high and away, and he falls behind once more.
JC up third in the league now in stolen bases, 2026 in the league. He's a guy that loves to time up pitchers. He is a true workhorse when it comes to the moment in between pitches. He's faced Elvin Liriano in our neck of the woods over there in Brantford a couple times this season. Liriano's been very effective against this Red Sox lineup.
And Liriano working himself. There is Cantor. He's on for a leadoff walk here in the first.
So there we'll see what Liriano's got when it comes to the focus there on first base. He does have the advantage of he will face pitchers at first base side. But here comes Brody Black, who's been on a really good run of form since recovering from a mid-season injury. He's often got quite a bit of pop, and when you got a guy like Cantor that quick on the base pass, a single at times could even score a guy like JC all the way around from first.
Well, Cantor leads the team with 23 stolen bases on the year. Brody Black right behind him with 12. It's kind of a 1-2 punch on the base paths here at the top of the order for the Red Sox. First pitch by Liriano. Misses outside for ball 1.
See the patience here for Brantford. If you're Liriano trying to put stuff here in play, the Red Sox, weak contact, particularly up in the air, been a weakness of the team this season.
0-1 make it, or excuse me, 1-0 make it 2-0 here. And early on, Liriano has been able to locate that fastball. He's left it arm side high a couple of times here, trying to just get things rolling. Cantor healthy lead over there at first. Liriano long hold yet again. Checks on the runner, now the delivery. And Black swings through a high fastball there for strike 1.
3 times. It's going well when he finds success and he can just rattle off big, deep base hits, deep doubles, deep home runs. He's incredibly effective, but he is going to swing and miss at times, and Liriano will try to take advantage here.
Liriano once again long hold. Here's the pitch. Fouled off down the right side there by Black.
I see much different Cantor on first base, taking about a step and a half, 2-step lead. Not only the shuffle step that we often see from him at first base, and particularly Francisco Martinez, who's made a really good name for himself in the last couple weeks since reactivating to the team here for Brantford. They love to play games with pitchers, especially in the early innings.
Yeah, we saw it last time Elvin faced the Red Sox. Jake Cantor was just a pain in the side. He's trying to disrupt that timing there. The pick off over to first. It's not going to be the A move, just to kind of keep an eye there on Cantor. He's back in there safely.
All the great pitchers find a way to vary their timing. You don't want to get yourself too cadence worthy there. Now we see JC a bigger lead off there. Sometimes he takes that initial step out to 2 steps off. Sometimes he's right on the bag. He really switches up his cadence as well.
Liriano, another long hold, checks on the runner. There goes Cantor. Swing there by Black, throw down. Not going to be in time to get the speedy Jacob Cantor. He's in there with a stolen base, but Brody Black is retired.
Real nice work on that. Repetition. He missed a couple there off the outside, but that is what he wants to swing. He wants to extend the arms. Gets kick to the wide plate. He does. He finds Painter. Swing and a miss there on Brody Black.
So that's stolen base number 24 on the year for Jacob Cantor, who is just, again, having a terrific season.
Only Jake Yabe and the Welland have lapped the field. He'd have a chance at
I mean, yeah, Daike Abe has been doing something else, it feels like, for the Welland Jackfish. That's a fastball inside to the always dangerous Chris Ortega here for the Brantford Red Sox. Again, he was the guy last time the Red Sox were here that got the party started in the ball game. 2 for 4, and then he had the home run, 3 RBIs as well in that ball game last time he was here at Hastings. He smokes this again, but he's just under it. Skied on the infield. Maskai calls everybody off, and he'll make the grab for out number 2.
Zone after he had that first pitch on the inside corner that misses. He gets a little bit lucky getting underneath. Chris will sometimes have those opportunities, but you just alluded to it there, Zach. When you get unlucky and he hits straight barrel, especially on a ballpark here like Guelph, that's leaving the ballpark in a hurry.
Going up here, Christian Kazemka. Kazemka hitting 290 on the season here. 6 RBIs. He's been more of that kind of contact first type of bat as Liriano gets him swinging on a fastball in the outside half.
One of the preeminent team, if I'm not mistaken here, Zach, we've been trying to keep down on the Brantford broadcast this season. I believe the only defensive position he has yet to play in 26 is catcher.
Interesting.
He's played everywhere else around the diamond, including pitching.
I think at some point that the Red Sox would have to get him there behind the dish. 0-1, he cranks this into left field. Patterson has to track over towards the line, and he'll make the catch.
So many questions. After Patterson had to climb the ladder for that one.
Yeah, it's a blinding sun out there in left. The leadoff walk to Jacob Cantor does not come back to bite Elvin Liriano. He'll head to the bottom half of the first. It's still 0-0 here at Hastings Stadium.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Garrett Takamatsu, solo shot to dead center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High deep and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. Same Royal City. Catch the memories.
Welcome back here to Hastings Stadium. Bottom half of the first inning. The Guelph Royals, they will face pitcher Leandro Mejia, and this is the Guelph order that will be facing Mejia. At the top, Ryan Dos Santos, who has had the power, has been coming back. He has hit 3 home runs in 4 games, followed by Anthony Gilbert, Franklin Torres in the 3 spot, Victor Maskai steady in that number 4 spot. 5, Gary Takamatsu. 6, Miguel Geraldo, Andy Leader, Matthew Ward, and Ashton Patterson round out the 7, 8, 9 here for the Guelph Royals. And Leandro Mejia, Marshall, I mean, he is a tall presence on the mound. Listed at 6'8", I believe, on their website. Yeah. Tall man. And I believe last time the Brantford Red Sox were here, it was after the game, we were putting stuff away. I had one player come up to me, and I had a feeling it was Mejia because I was looking straight up at him, and he was just asking me, do you guys have a radar gun here? I was curious how fast I was throwing it. I said, the unfortunate news, no, do not have a radar gun, unfortunately. Also bring the leadoff man, Ryan Dos Santos, and I don't think there's been a hotter hitter in Guelph than Dos Santos over the last stretch of games here. And he has just been hitting the ball hard as ever. Over the last 7 days, an OPS sitting at 1.303. 2-game hit streak, but the power is really what's been eye-popping as of late. Last 5 games, 3 home runs. He's always been known as a guy in the CBL to have a fantastic eye at the plate. He doesn't chase. The whiff rate sitting around 17 to 18%. Already ahead here 2-0. Make it 2-1 as the fastball there by Mejia gets across for strike 1.
Squad wide up at the top, and one of the most dangerous things about it, not huge, heavy profiles. Good at the base pass, lighter guys who also have that big pop thanks to their mechanics.
Low side called strike 2, and just catching the low corner there was Mejia. It was kind of a 50-50 shot, and he got it.
It's those calls today. He's going to be very effective around bridges.
Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball alone away, not catching the zone. It's full.
He's off to the guy full for anything with trust his feeling. He's just going to try to put it past you, even if you know where it's going.
Already full count pitch to the leadoff man, Dos Santos. Low in the dirt, ball 4, and that's another walk here for Ryan Dos Santos, his league-leading 31st of the season.
Just ridiculous. Unties himself there with catchers Mateo Zampieri. Here today. This is what it is in the Canadian Baseball League. These starters, great velo, especially these fastball pitchers. You just need a couple pitches. Work your way in, find your way to be effective. But that's why you often see a lot of first inning runs here in the Canadian Baseball League. The offense has got to jump all over these pitchers before they can get themselves established.
I'll bring up Anthony Gilbert here. Again, another guy that had a solo shot up there in Chatham County. Watches the first one by. This is the defensive alignment here for the side of the Brantford Red Sox. In the outfield from left to right, Francisco Martinez, Walker Holtgren, and Brody Black. At third base, Tim Hulk. Shortstop, Jacob Cantor. Second base, Lucas Lefreve. And at first base, Christian Ortega, as mentioned. Backstop, Cassidy Watt. To pitcher, Leandro Mejia. And quickly, it's Mejia working with that fastball. You mentioned that it's a heavy fastball, and you know, with pitchers that are taller, if they're able to get down the mound and have that good extension, it can add about 2 to 3 miles per hour on your pitch.
His arm does not fall off. You will see if he'll drop for Mejia a second time through the order. He's going to be just as deadly in a couple of innings' time.
Healthy lead for Dos Santos over at first. Mejia is going to check on him, but the throw won't beat him.
You guys talked about for really third base, the spot that rotates for that lineup. For Brantford, it's always second base. Lucas Lefebvre going to get the call here today. It's up to himself or Lucas Bateman. Today, number 8, a very speedy athlete, going to be the man at second.
Quick little check over. Now the pitch low and away, and Dos Santos, he's taking off for second. He's going to be in there standing. That ball just got away enough from Cassidy Watt for the speedy Ryan Dos Santos to swipe second.
Yeah, one man who's not in the lineup today for the Brantford Red Sox is Andrew Savage. Of course, the starter in this year's on the south side for the All-Star game. Today it's Cassidy Watt. He is very aggressive with the back picks. He loves playing games on runners, on the corners in particular. We'll get an opportunity now with Dos Santos moving up on the second.
Gilbert, through the early parts of the year, had a lengthy hit streak. Had that one snapped, but he's still been a very productive player all year long for the Guelph Royals. Sports a .342 batting average. And to kind of prove the point of how hot he has been all year, that's at the lower end of what it was. I think he was hitting near 400 for about 4 weeks earlier on in the season. He's in a 3-1 count here. Mejia gets him to swing through that fastball. It's a full count to another batter.
Talked about it on the last batter, but yeah, he's going to challenge. You're going to see velo. If he surprises and he can get that breaking ball over the plate, he might catch Gilbert off guard.
There have been 2 teams that have really been able to suppress Anthony Gilbert here in the league. The London Majors, he bats only a $1.64 against them. And he'll draw the walk here. The other team, the Brantford Red Sox, batting 200.
Not necessarily in terms of handedness, not many lefties here on this. Just pitch back. Those ballers, if you minutes.
I'll bring up Franklin Torres, one guy that I know the front office was so excited to get back here in Guelph. Really displayed dominance in his last season here. And he's kind of been battling injuries to start off his tenure here again with the Guelph Royals. There was a kind of a moment in time where he was out for about a week or so with a hand issue. Last couple of games he missed, but then he started slowly getting back into it here as he's in a 0-2 count quickly against Leandro Mejia.
You actually see the improvement. The first time we saw Torres in Brantford, I was a little bit disappointed. It's just the production, given the name, given the brand equity he's got. He's really picked it up, though. I'm impressed how he's recovered. And, of course, playoffs soon. The time to do that.
Pulls this to the shortstop, Canner. He throws over to second for one. On to first. Not going to be in time. Jacob Canner almost made a hero play over there at short. Gets the first out. Can't get Torres speeding down the line. Then I'll bring up Victor Mascai with runners on the corners.
Really good job to like that. I mean, this thing is the first step to the I'm off the bench. What you should say. Did a really good job, liking that out. To find yourself runners on the corners for a guy like this guy, that can be very valuable, especially with the sac fly in play.
Come on, Victor.
And here comes Dos Santos speeding across, and that's how Guelph will strike early. Again, this is a team that has been very hot, and right there, Dos Santos running back to Garrett Takamatsu, just signaling the fastball. He has it. It pops out of the hand, so be ready for it. And again, that's kind of what you're going to expect, trying to see a guy like Leandro Mejia at a tall frame. 6'8" is what he's listed at. You said he could be taller.
Towers over me, so.
Could be taller, but I mean, that's just hitters understanding that, hey, that pitch, it gets on you quick. Mascai fouls this to the backstop, and the count's quickly evened up here, 1-1.
So the question then becomes, Zach, two guys need to time it up perfectly to put the ball in play, or are you an effective enough hitter? Do you swing truly across or even up from above to kind of get weak contact and put a ball in play with one out, even if you don't perfectly time up that heater? Southbound left or right is doing a good job picking the corners. It's that verticality. Trust the ability to get whiffs up high more than he does down low. Just playing up a little bit too high. He needs to bring it down if he wants to challenge this guy.
2-1 count here. Breaking ball that just misses the outside corner. Had a nice little snap at the last minute, but couldn't catch the corner. 3-1 count now to Mascai. And to your point, hitters, they usually tend to chase up high. That's kind of the mainstay for a lot of batters. Right now, it's just Mejia. He's just missing a bit too high, not getting those batters to chase. Mascai will foul this one right off the grandstands here. It's another full count, one out, and a runner at second base. One run has already crossed here for the Guelph Royals.
The back of a true power versus power matchup. Hey, Mascai wants a ball up high. He wants to extend his arms out with his hitting profile. Mejia wants to challenge right in that spot. See what we get on a full count.
High, and Mascai will work another walk. So this is going to be an interesting matchup here. Garrett Takamatsu, who a lot of people regard as one of the best hitters in the CBL, goes up against a guy in Mejia who has a lot of velo, as we've been mentioning time and time again here in the first inning. It's going to be interesting to kind of see this battle of who is going to be the one to back down and break first.
The defense become consultant here with Leandro. I think they know the situation you're in with Takamatsu. No reason you can't walk him again. You're going to have to challenge. I would not expect Takamatsu to take the bat off his shoulder until he sees a strike go by him. I think he's a guy who's going to sit on a hitter's count. And I think you just got to worry here for Brantford. They're a team that can go back and forth tit for tat. They don't mind giving up a couple runs early because they know the bullpen depth has been so strong lately. But here in the Canadian Baseball League, with a team like Guelph Royals on the mound, Royals, you don't want to put up 3 or 4 more runs in the opposing here. You want to lock this down when you can. Problem is number 4 is the wrong guy to see a price.
Garrett Takamatsu has been one of those guys that it felt like he's been heating up really the entire season. He started the year out really strong, but it was a lot of just that kind of contact first mindset. About 3 to 4 weeks afterwards, the power started to creep in, and the power has just kept on creeping. His numbers just continue to rise. He has been one of the stronger hitters here for the Guelph Royals all season long. And that one inside corner, called a strike on Tack. And to your point, I think he was sitting until he sees a strike, and Mahiat, he gets the call there in the corner.
So now you're in Kirk away. Kirk this way to miss it. It's
0-1 here. 2 runners on, 1 out. The Royals have already crossed 1 across. And that's a broken bat hit to Cantor. Flip to second for 1. On to first in time. And how about that from Mejia? Looks like he goes back to a breaking ball, and it gets right on the hands of Takamatsu, who breaks his bat for the inning-ending double play. After 1, the Guelph Royals, they cross 1, and it's 1-0 here at Hastings Stadium.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Garrett Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Top half of the second here at Hastings Stadium. The Guelph Royals defense, it will look like this. In the outfield, left to right, Ashton Patterson, Andy Leader, and Ryan Dos Santos. On the infield at third, Franklin Torres, short, Anthony Gilbert, Miguel Geraldo at second, Victor Mascai at first, Matthew Ward behind the dish catching Elvin Liriano. And, Marshall, to your point, we talked about it before the game. This is a Guelph Royals team where their infield really hasn't changed. Third base has kind of been that only revolving door. We've seen Nate Ochoa there. We've seen Franklin Torres, Kyle Cush, Connor Morrow a couple of times. But, the middle infield, it has been set in stone, really, since these 2 guys have been acquired.
And you can never underrate continuity. Defensive continuity, knowing who's got priority, knowing the terms, just knowing the tempo, knowing the speed of a play, of a double play, having that repetition, so valuable, especially at the middle.
You never really hear people talk about the kind of chemistry that gets built on up the middle. And, Gilbert and Geraldo, they have developed that a lot this year as Elvin Liriano, he launches that one, and it's a nice grab by Matthew Ward behind the plate. This is Tim Hulk, the third baseman, in his first at-bat here of the ball game. Coming in today, batting .333. 26 games played. Outside half misses there. It counts even up 2-2.
Talked a little bit about pregame. The game ready training facility out there in Brantford. The game ready training staff, they do collegiate training for ball players, young and going pro. Tim Olick, the lead trainer in that group, he is a very well studied man at the plate.
Crushes this over to right field. Dos Santos has to track back. He's cutting towards the line, and it's going to be over his head. Hulk on his horse. He's rounding second, and he's going to be in there standing at third. And that's going to be a leadoff. I'm not sure if that hit the glove or not of Dos Santos out there in right field, so it might go down as a leadoff triple. We'll see what the scorekeepers put it down as.
Caught leather and redeflect as he went up to high point. The way on it. It's coming back from injury. He actually broke his hand there, I believe, on a ball, a wild ball that got away, hit him on the non-glove protected hand. I believe this is just his first weekend back actively playing. Way to get back in the lineup.
Yeah, displays real good power over there towards right field, the oppo. And this one, first pitch swinging, is Francisco Hernandez, and he's going to even up this ball game.
Francisco Martinez there, just making his second week of appearance here in the Canadian Baseball League season. Was meant to be a kind of an active part of this roster at the beginning of the year. There was too much depth in the outfield. He has been unbelievable lately. 2 home runs in his first week in the new league, including his first career CBL homer being a grand slam there a couple weeks ago, a couple of games at home, I should say, at Brantford. So his hot streak continues. Really good to have his presence here in a Brantford lineup that you can never have enough outfield depth in CBL again.
Oh, never. And you were ranting and raving about him earlier, as I asked about some of the players. Obviously, you being the expert on the Brantford Red Sox gave me the 411 on it, and well, Martinez, he's pretty good. He displays it right there quickly.
And he's a perfect middle of the lineup guy. Enough opposite field power, enough double potential. We haven't seen much of him on defense. We actually really don't know what to expect from him in the Red Sox faithful. But on the base paths, he is a burner. Liriano's got to be watchful first.
Well, this is kind of the first scene of trouble we've seen Elvin Liriano run into. As Martinez takes off for second, Ward, the chuck down, and it is right on the money. Matthew Ward chops down Francisco Martinez for out number 1.
Martinez led the Cuban National Series in stolen bases, 90 over the course of 4 years. Led the league every single one of those seasons. Didn't quite get the perfect jump there, though, and Matthew Ward held him honest. What a throw from the catcher.
Ward has been a steady presence behind the plate, and he proves it yet again.
Lefebvre with the rotation. We've seen him with the second baseman himself there, Lefebvre, AJ Carosis, the former Kitchener Panther, and Lucas Bateman all splitting time.
This is the aforementioned Lucas Lefebvre.
He's been in good form lately. 155, so short. Started the season, I believe, on a 2 for 28 stretch. He's really picked that average back up.
Line shot to third, and it's grabbed by Torres. They call it the hot corner for a reason, and Franklin Torres flashes the leather.
Got a little cool. The clouds covered over third base a few moments ago. If you're worried he was turning out there at third, clearly Frank's a close for everything. Heck of a grab.
Lefebvre got a lot into that ball, and it looks like it kind of rolled around in the glove of Torres, almost popped out, but he held on to it just enough. Walker Holtgren will come up now. He watches first pitch go by for ball 1. And we've gotten to the point of the season where, these teams in the top 5, you start scoreboard watching. The Guelph Royals especially, they're trying to catch up to the top 3 teams, get into at least that third place side. Their goal, the number 1 goal here is obviously make the playoffs. If you can, host that play-in game. A lot of the Guelph Royals players, staff, and the front office, their goal now is we want to get into that top 3. We want to host a series here at Hastings Stadium, as that's inside count goes 2-1. Your scoreboard watching, the team they're chasing, the Welland Jackfish. The Welland Jackfish are up 5-1 right now over the Kitchener Panthers in the bottom of the 5th. And, the Jackfish are just one of those teams where they go cold for about 3 games, but they get red hot really quick. As this is a ground ball hit to Geraldo, and he's able to make the play. and the side is retired. The Brantford Red Sox, they strike across. Tim Holt gets things going with a leadoff E9 for a triple, and he gets cashed in by the new man, Francisco Martinez, and we go to the bottom half of the second inning. It's a 1-1 ball game here at Hastings Stadium.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Here to Hastings Stadium. It's Miguel Geraldo to lead things off. And Geraldo has been down in the lineup, something that kind of caught us by surprise up here in the booth. He's been solid all year long, but I don't think it was necessarily because he's performed poorly. I think it's more so they want to lengthen out this roster. And when you look at it, you have Franklin Torres coming back in. That top six, it's pretty scary with Miguel Geraldo being the final one to face.
You don't get a batter off anywhere. Geraldo, a wraparound man to the talent potential. I love the roster composition. Tino Rell's done a really good job kind of refining this team because one of the great things about Guelph this season, especially on that hot run you guys went in through May in the middle of June, is it was guys you weren't expecting. It was guys stepping up with that pop, with the potential true next man up baseball. I think it made it interesting when it came to how do you set the lineup up, right? Do you go off personal pedigree? Do you go off what these guys have done years past? Or do you go off who's hot? And I think finally it's starting to settle out a little bit. This Guelph team clearly, like you talk about, is showcasing that depth all the way through. I think they've found their order, and we'll see what Geraldo can do in the sixth.
3-1 count here to Geraldo. It's a ground ball hit to third off the glove of the third baseman, and Miguel Geraldo is in there, which might go down as a single. It was kind of a tough play to the left side there. But we will see what the score puts it down as. That was Tim Holt going for the ball.
But it's away from now. See what Geraldo can do there on first when it comes to Andy Leader. I don't know if it's just when he comes to Brantford, he always seems to find a way to put the ball in play.
Well, it's country night here at the ballpark, and you can tell that a couple of the players, they've changed their walk-up songs. They've gone with the country vibe. You can see, if you look down towards the Guelph Royals dugout, GM Ryan Eakin wearing a custom-made Guelph Royals cowboy hat. If you follow the Royals on social media, you would have seen today they unveiled their brand new logo. New logo, which is pretty cool, as that's pulled right down the third base line. Fair ball into left field. Geraldo taking off for third. He's in there safe. And this should go down as a double for Andy Leader, who you mentioned every time he faces the Red Sox, he hits the ball and puts it in play. That time, tucks it perfectly right inside that third base line.
Cleared the plate, right in the far corner at third. That one just hooks it in time. Really hard for the left fielder to range his way out there. Martinez, though, quick foot speed holds the runners almost there. Instead, they're being Matthew. So,
We saw it against the game. We saw it in the game against the Welland Jackfish. Matthew Ward. It was a very professional at bat. Less than 2 outs. He had a runner on third. The Guelph Royals, they were threatening at the time, wanting to get that first run of the ball game. What does Ward do? Cool, calm, collective. He just lifts the ball into left field, sac fly, puts the Royals on, and they never looked back. Matthew Ward, it's just something we've seen out of him really all year long. The numbers aren't eye-popping to say, but very smart hitter in this lower end of the lineup.
you're seeing the presence of catcher. There's so much margin, right? Your production on offense doesn't necessarily need to pop off the screen, but like you say, Matt always seems to come up in the big moments, and often in playoff baseball, that's where catchers are needed most.
He's also played in all 41 games this season. He is the only player on the roster that has appeared in every single game. Normally, it wouldn't be like that. You'd see a catcher would miss, say, like 2-3 games, let them rest. Ward is in there day in and day out, catching every single inning. No, I for the longest time, there was a stretch where he was the only catcher. As he swings through an off-speed, beautiful pitch there by Leandro Mejia to get Ward out in front.
That's the margins for Mejia. You heard the crowd there, and then a strike two. It was just one that kind of slid across. A wide slider. It was very, very on the edge of the plate. He gets the call, and in those little margins, it's what we call it the butterfly effect all the time in Brantford. Those little decisions, fastball pitches, you can get those 50-50 from the inside. Often that is going to really speed up the tempo, really speed up your ability to get their innings quick. If Mejia gets favorable calls tonight, he is going to be very effective. And that one run on the board for 12 might be the last one they get off 25.
Well, threatening right now, number 9 hitter Ashton Patterson up with 2 runners on in scoring position as well. Just kind of wrap up the note on Matthew Ward. So again, he's appeared in all 41 games, this being game 41. 38 games started at catcher. He has also played 2 games at third base, a game at pitcher, and a game in right field. But I don't think he started. I think that might be a little bit of a technical error there, but I remember he did make a relief appearance in one game. But yeah, he is a workhorse. He is in the lineup every single day. As Patterson watches this go by, and he is ahead in the count, 3-0. Patterson is another one of those guys where he's had an up and down year. Started the year off red hot. Everything looked like he was kind of trending upwards. He got himself into more playing time. He was making smart at bats, and then things kind of just got a little cold for him as he watches that one go by for ball 4, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Got a little bit cold, but as of late, again, he's kind of found his rhythm, found his swing. He's in the lineup more, and he is really making a good contribution from the number 9 spot.
Bases loaded. You got to be excited here at Guelph.
Again, one of the hottest hitters in the Guelph Royals lineup at the moment. Bases loaded, 1 out here for Dos Santos. And what does Mejia do? He goes with a breaking ball to start things off, and it's 0-1.
He's placed the breaking ball very well. Often not, again, talking about legitimizing a pitch. Gets the repertoire consistently. He's placed it quite well in the bottom of the zone.
That one outside, it's 1-1. Now, the numbers here for Dos Santos, the walk percentage sitting around 18%. That has him in the 96th percentile. The whiff rate, 19%. I mean, he does not swing and miss a lot, and he does not chase. 1-1. Ground ball pulled down the first baseline, but just foul. That would have cashed in 2, possibly 3, with the speed of Patterson.
Close the other way. Just a few moments after Andy Leader's over third base, it flips the fortunes back the Brantford way past first base. That people along this out there with Landon reason why he doesn't throw it very often is his swing profile. It's going to lead to a lot of hard hit ground balls. First baseman Chris Ortega's got to be ready.
And he sprays the ball all over the field. 38% of the time it's pulled. 36% of the time he hits it right back up the middle. 26 oppo. As that one's on the inside half. And you can see it. He nods to himself at the plate. One thing, if you're ever close enough to hear, you can actually hear him say, nope, inside. Nope, down low. He knows his zone so well.
He's going to step off here, kind of recollect himself. This is a very big moment. Great foot speed from Patterson there on first. Going to be hard to turn the double if it's a pretty weakly hit ball.
2-2 count here. Bases loaded to Dos Santos. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, 3-2.
Talk about he's done a pretty good job placing that. It's the mind game. Dos Santos got to be sitting fastball. God, I think he's going to see something down the middle here again. But he has thrown us off a couple times. You know what you think the batter's thinking? You could try the double bluff, the triple bluff. That's baseball on from there.
Well, second at bat, second full count coming up here for Dos Santos. Here's a 3-2 from Mejia. It's a ground ball, pulled foul yet again, and he has been pulling the ball an awful lot as of late. His home run last time he was here at Hastings cleared that back fence in right field. He cleared the stadium. Just trying to put a ball in the air here to at least cash one. Mejia gets his sign, takes a deep breath. Here's the delivery. In the dirt, ball 4. 2 walks on the day and an RBI for number 17.
After 10 plate appearances, that's 4 just to the top 4 of the lineup through 5 appearances at the plate there. That's the thing since you expect from these top-end experienced Guelph Royals bats. They're going to keep taking advantage. Guelph still got quick man on the base pass, and Anthony Gilbert walked his first time up as well.
League leading 32nd walk of the season. Again, he holds the walk record in the CBL with what he did in his final year as a Maple Leaf last year. I believe it was 46.
Touch a lot of these. All right, I know it's the middle of August, but with how many games are condensed for all these teams due to the midseason, particularly the air-conditioned postponement games, records can still tumble.
0-2 there by Gilbert as he swings through a breaking ball.
Looks like parts of the year Ethan Mann might break some records out there in Welland. He's kind of slowed down a little bit on the RBI production.
Well, right now we're getting a lot of power out of Toronto with Yasiel Puig as Gilbert pops this down the right field line foul. He's at 17 right now.
Crack the code this season yet in Brantford. I believe in a couple other ballparks he hasn't taken advantage of. Primarily, a lot of it being hit at home.
0-2. Breaking ball misses high. It looked more like a cutter at the top of the zone there. 1-2. Puig trying to put his name in for that triple crown. He sits third in batting average, first in home runs, fifth in RBIs. You mentioned Ethan Mann's name. He leads the league in RBIs with 56.
11th of them come in one game.
1-2. Gilbert, he fists this out to shallow right field, and it's down. One run's going to score. Peterson right behind leader, and he's in there to score. Anthony Gilbert, it's a 2 RBI single, and it's 4-1 Royals.
That really over the plate, so that's you can take advantage of it. The ball is just hung up in the air, but we talk about the velo doesn't fall off. Sometimes the placement, even once he finds the zone, can be a little too appetizing. Gilbert takes advantage.
So meeting on the mound here, there is movement over there in the Brantford bullpen. You mentioned Mejia. The command has been a little off here. 2 walks in the first inning. He has 2 walks here in the second.
Yeah, great. He's also a member of the pitching Rapp's a guy that he's talked a lot about this season. One of the priorities has been we just want to take the innings off of every pitcher individually. We don't mind putting 5 or 6 relievers out in any given game. The middle innings often it will be one after another, and it's not because of performance. It's not because of fear the offense will catch up to a reliever. It is just let's even it out. Let's spread it out. Everybody prep to do one inning every given weekend. If you're going to play 3 games in 3 days, be prepared to pitch in 2 of them. That's kind of the culture here in Brantford. We'll probably see him come out early, regardless of the results of this inning. We'll probably come out at the end of 2. Then, if I had to guess, you're probably going to see 4 or 5 relievers the rest of the way. This is going to be the start of kind of a carousel here for the Red Sox.
Franklin Torres back up here. He has 2 men on. And 1 out in the inning. The Royals, they've cashed 3 so far as he watches a ball 1 in the dirt go by. With the way things are looking here, Hamilton currently in second place, or I should say tied for second place with the Welland Jackfish. They sit, I believe it'll be now 3 games back of London for first, who just got their 30th win of the season.
What do you give for Hamilton? If they can hot streak through the next week and a half, they can be in place for the 1 seed, which I don't think anybody was expecting as of the beginning of July.
That's inside, but called a strike. It's 1-2 here on Torres.
Talked earlier how good Hamilton's been at home as well, and how good that top end of the starting rotation is. If you give them home field advantage all the way through the playoffs, good luck winning a Burning Arm.
They have 3 losses at home this year,
That's
15
ridiculous.
and 3. Here's the 1-2. And Torres laces this into the right center gap. It's going to be down. Dos Santos coming around. He's going to score. They're going to send Gilbert around as well. He'll be in there to score. And Franklin Torres clears the bases. 2 more runs cash. It's 6-1 Royals.
Looked almost identical to Gilbert's shot to right center. Same contact. These Guelph hitters, my goodness, you put anything over the heart of the plate, look, they don't make full contact. They get just enough there, just patient enough. Contact good zone for these Guelph hitters at the top of the lineup. Affected with it's so vast. You got to feel for a guy like Mejia that when you're a fastball pitcher, where is left the challenge? If Gilbert Torres could put a ball in play to right center from there, put a ball in play from anywhere.
And it doesn't get any easier because now you got Maskai, Takamatsu, and Geraldo due up. As Maskai lifts this shallow left field. And that will be caught for out number 2. He just missed the barrel getting underneath it there.
Start if you're the top end of this Guelph lineup. Top 4. Miller's choice was the only one completely productive out there. To Victor Maskai, that's what your top players need to do at home, and that's why Guelph's up 5 already.
Here's Tack, and that's a heavy fastball. Looked like Mejia had kind of reached back for a little extra there, but he missed low. 1-0. Tack has a new piece of lumber at the dish. He broke his bat his last time up as he lifts this opposite field. It's tailing towards the line, and it's going to drop. Good effort down there in right field.
Gentlemen, Brody Black.
Gotta be careful down there. Brody Black, I mean, he was hustling the whole way through. Now, my question is, obviously, it's always hard to tell when you have the open sides down on the field here, especially here at Hastings. If Brody Black dove from in fair territory or in playable territory to outer and he catches him, is that considered an out?
It shouldn't be to my typical.
Takamatsu goes oppo as Torres. He's going to have to be held up there at third. And Garrett Takamatsu, I mean, what doesn't he do? That time he drives the ball opposite field and he continues his red hot ways to the plate.
Around the order for the first time today for the Guelph Royals.
It's a lineup that it just feels like you're never safe. Tons of power, tons of contact in this lineup, 1 through 9. As Geraldo, to see it first pitch swinging, drops this ball in the left field, and it's an RBI single for number 15.
When it rains, the top teams in the league, it seems like, Zach, are death by 1,000 paper cut style offense. You think about Welland this year, you think about Barry teams in the past. That's what champions in this league often do. That's the profile Guelph has, with the established hitters starting to get back in form. The guys who started the season hot, staying hot. Greg Rapp out there, and what will be Mejia's exit from the ballgame.
So we'll have a new pitcher coming to the ball game here for the Brantford Red Sox. Again, it is 7-1 here in the second inning, 2 outs and 2 runners on. More on the pitcher coming in after this short break. Or for the side of the Brantford Red Sox, I should say. Jose Arias coming on in, and he did face the Guelph Royals here at Hastings last time that the Brantford Red Sox made the trip here.
Arias' premier, which is weird because obviously we're used to years of him dominating as a starter in London. His 2022, one of the best pitching seasons of the decade in the CBL. If you want to know what Jose's best pitch is, just watch a couple of bats. The other day in Brantford, he threw 11 straight sliders at one point, 7 of them to Yasiel Puig. He is a guy that he loves that slider pitch. He can make it drop. He can just drop the bottom of it, or he can really get that conventional swing and a miss. Particularly loves it wide against the right-handed batters. He is going to eat up righties. He's not going to allow a lot of strong contact. Jose, probably the longest, ability to go deep in a game conditioning-wise of any reliever for this Brantford side. We could see him all the way to the 6th.
Again, he's, as you mentioned, as there's one of the devastating breaking balls there. He gets a leader out in front. You mentioned he has a long history in the league with the London Majors. That 2022 season, a lot of people will talk about a 157 ERA. And I don't think it's that he's lost that ability. It's just, again, he's a 35-year-old now. And, I think it's just more so you have so much kind of mileage on your ability to play baseball. You've been pitching for as long as he has. Still a premier arm here. But again, that season in 2022, that he was just unhittable. Leader gets the barrel to this one. It's shallow left field. Cantor going back, and he'll make the grab for out number 3. But the Royals kick open the door. They put up 6 runs and they lead it 7-1 here over the Red Sox at Hastings Stadium. You're watching Royals TV.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Welcome back here to Hastings Stadium. Zach Benoit alongside Marshall Crocker. And Elvin Liriano had a very lengthy kind of wait on the bench. He popped out of the dugout a couple times, started playing catch down the left field line because, again, you want to stay in that game rhythm. Pitchers are very, superstitious creatures where if they're in a rhythm, they're kind of in a certain feed. They don't want to break that. And with the lengthy delay, that's kind of what happened.
Reaches your limit. That's why a lot of CBL games, if it's blows up in an early inning, it's going back and forth. You know, rhythm is a story. Still has his. Looks like he does. Gets a with a hit ball off there, grounded to the first base Brantford dugout. 0-2. Appearance here for Cassidy Watt, the 9th spot for this Brantford lineup. Consistent production this season. I believe he's just a tick over 300 on the year.
This is low and away. Count now 1-2. Well, if you're scoreboard watching like I am, the Kitchener-Welland game, Welland Jackfish have kind of kicked the doors open to that one as well. It's 8-1 in the bottom half of the 6th. As that's strike 3 on Watt. Liriano gets him looking for out number 1.
You'll get Cassidy. Talk to your patient. Some haters count 3. And then makes late on that one. Where he's stepping away. Looks like that catch was doing him some good there on the side side.
He almost airmailed his partner twice, but I think that was just more so he can get loose again. A lot of what we saw in the first inning, he was leaving a lot of his pitches arm side high, and that's usually just from pitchers not finishing down and really just leaving everything up, keeping their chest more open. This inning, it's looked a lot different. He's down more. He's inside onto some of these right-handed hitters. Tale of two innings is the big one here. As that's a beautiful off-speed. Believes that's a change-up there on the leadoff man, Jacob Cantor.
Yeah, a lot of pitches you wouldn't expect for Liriano have a little bit of arm side break to them. A lot of times you see it halfway to the mound. I'm thinking up here in the booth, that might get barreled.
Looks like he doubled up with an off-speed there, that time on the inner half, and Cantor swings through it. Count goes 1-2. And that's the thing as a pitcher. If you're able to command all 3 quadrants of the zone, it makes a hitter's life just awful. And they cannot figure you out. And that's what Liriano's trying to do here. But Cantor rips this into right field, carrying back Dos Santos there, and he'll make the grab.
The fact that be halfway to the point is exactly going to take it serious. No resting the bat on your shoulder. You got to be ready and be ready to attack any ball in any part of the zone. Liriano has legitimized all of his stuff in the mix right now.
Brings up Brody Black, who struck out swinging his last time up again. He struck out while Jacob Cantor was stealing second. Looked more so like a protect the runner kind of swing than it was a defensive hack as he swings here and fouls into the backstop.
There's a lot of that lately for Brantford. They've really tried to prioritize the hit and run in the second half of the year. The split between stolen bases for and stolen bases allowed for Brantford worse in the league through the month of June. And I think that's one thing that was really focused on in the training and the off days and the Tuesday practices. How can we get that split going back the other way? The hit and run been a big component. What has been a very good Brantford offense. People overlook the numbers on the board for Brantford, especially some of the underlying data. From a team-wide runs perspective, it hasn't been quite as high as you want. But a lot of the underlying data, this team is known, okay, if we can get the offense clicking, definitely the pitching staff kind of thinking about a fix from a bullpen perspective. There are any numbers below the hood that make you think, all right, something to build on into 2027.
Black swings through that, counts now 1-2. And to your point, yeah, I mean, the Red Sox, they're pretty much middle of the pack in a lot of offensive categories. In average, currently, they're middle of the pack, batting .288 as a team. As Liriano looking to go through a clean third inning here, leans back. Here's the pitch, and it's high and away. Runs scored again. They sit in the lower third quadrant of the league with 229 runs scored. And again, doubles about middle of the pack. You kind of see it out of the Red Sox. They're in that middle cluster. They've been just trying to get, those big moments, those clutch moments to come through for them. The pitching staff on the other side, right, is another big factor.
Well, contemporary team does pitching the 20 offense, and they're still on the
And they're winning games. Here's the 2-2. Popped up out of play. So have an at-bat here, Brody Black.
That's what you want to do here if you're the road side. You just need to take pitches off Liriano at this point. He's looked really effective. He's kept the tempo up. He's kept the ball game a little bit too quick. You just need to slow him down to try to get pitches up on him, and they'd love to keep Chris Ortega up with a runner on instead of having him lead off the fourth.
Once again, the 2-2 from Liriano as Black pops this up, and it's out of play yet again. This is kind of a perfect at-bat that the Red Sox needed against Elvin Liriano.
This will be pitch number 8, if I'm counting correctly, in the stages of Liriano. So that's the question. What does he have? What does he have left in the tool bag? But again, that's why legitimizing different zones is so dangerous. It's nothing Brody can take for an easy pitch here, even on 2-2.
We've seen Liriano kind of pick that fastball in the outside half of the last two. Maybe goes with a changeup. Goes with a fastball in the inside corner, and he gets him looking. He punched the outside of the zone 3 straight times, goes inside on Black, and Brody can't pull the trigger. We head to the bottom half of the third inning. The Guelph Royals still up 7-1 over the Brantford Red Sox.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to dead center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. Same Royal City. Catch the memories.
Looking back here, Matthew Ward leading things off. It'll be Ward, Patterson, and Dos Santos due up here in the inning. Ryan Dos Santos, 2 innings, 2 at-bats so far at the top of the order, and he's yet to actually register an at-bat. He's walked both times. Arias in there for strike 2, and it's 0-2 against Ward. Just checking the other ball game. Mateo Zeppieri, he does have a walk as well, so Ryan Dos Santos still leads the league, but it's just by 1, not 2. Zeppieri at 31. Dos Santos at 32 now. As that breaking ball misses low and away, 1-2 goes the count.
Matthew, so far the only gentleman to strike out and swing and a miss there today for the Guelph Royals. Looking to avoid a second here, down 1-2 to Arias. I think we'll see another slider.
And we do, and it's further into that left-handed batter's box. Counts even up 2-2.
It's a 2-2. He is going to just throw that slider against righties and chili clips the zone and see what the home plate umpire can do for him. But he and Mike Richards, they're going to be the story here on these 2 strike counts.
Here's the 2-2. And fouled off another breaking ball, and he's just peppering them in at right now.
It's all dependent on his grip. And he's going to throw the swing and a miss kind of truce slides away from the right. It's a little bit harder, but it's 2 different grips. We talked about it in our program on the last Red Sox podcast. Some of them just drop the pin out below them. They kind of just become a true breaking ball down. See what we see here on 2-2.
As Ward rocks this over to right field, Black going back, and he's camped under it to make the catch for out number 1.
Brody Black's first catch of the day, finally getting a piece of the action himself. And that's the thing for Jose is it's all about the order of his pitches. It's not anymore. It's a truly high velo fastball. It's not one that he can throw it. That's what's nice. As you how do you change your pitch mix? How do you change your offerings? So that instead of sit on the fastball, I can catch up to the velo. It was a surprise there. We were all still sitting on slider. Throws the fastball high, and he can place it quite well. Kind of like the Aroldis Chapman style. As you get in your older years, you can have great velo when you're young. It's how do you evolve? And Arias done that quite well.
Arias goes with a fastball here to the lefty Ashton Patterson for strike 1. I was trying to see if we can find any of the season records. I know we have the all-time numbers, as, by the way, Sean Riley had a crazy career in this league, as I'm always reminded when I look at this stuff. Can't find the season records as Patterson deposits another one to right field, and he's on base for the second time. This time it's his first hit of the ball game.
Yes, indeed. 6th overall for the Guelph Royals. All of them by different players. That has only a few left for the Whales, who has yet to get on base here today. And again, we talked about next man up. We talked about depth in the pregame. That's what you need for the playoffs. You need a couple guys to be able to have a weak first series and still find production. That's what the Royals put together this year. And I talked about it a little bit earlier. Over there at Brantford, we were just kind of waiting to see, all right, is this Royals team legit? Are they going to be the squad that moves back below the playoff cut line? That depth on the offense is the reason they have not.
Dos Santos up for his 3rd at-bat in 3 innings, and he's down behind 0-1. He's walked both times, scored both times, and he has 1 RBI in the ball game. Patterson thought about taking off. Pitch on the outside corner, missing.
It's Gary. You think he's got his phone on him checking that Kitchener game? Got it. One.
Did I do it again? He got another one on me?
Let's swing.
1-1 count here to number 17. That's a breaking ball, misses low as Patterson's in there to second. I believe one of the home runs in this kind of span for Dos Santos was off of Jose Arias. Again, he has had probably one of the hottest stretches in his last 4 games he's had all season. 3 home runs, and they haven't been just wall scrapers. They've been clearing the fence. As that's a breaking ball in the inside half, count running 2-2.
The lefty's obviously going to do better against a righty kind of slider specialist like Arias. Once one of them is going to hang, it's particularly that pitch the bottom of that kind of true breaking slider. That's the one that can sometimes hang up a little high in the air. Dos Santos will take advantage of a pitch like that.
Arias checks on Patterson. Here's the 2-2. And Dos Santos. You can see the quick hands there. That pitch was on the outside half. He was going to take it initially, but it looked like another one of those breaking balls where it had a late movement. He just smokes the hands through the zone, and he's able to foul it off. Good protection swing out of Dos Santos.
Brian Santos might be the X factor in this team in the playoffs, especially if he's in a leadoff spot. Have that potential for anything. Even sometimes in the playoffs, you just need a leadoff homer to get the fans out off their feet. Really impressed with what I've seen from Dos Santos today.
Here's 2-2. Rips to right field. It's down. That's going to go back, and he's trying for 2. The runner is going to come in to score. Dos Santos in there at second with the hustle double. Didn't slide, almost overran the base. But he's in there for his first hit of the day, and he's reached base all 3 times he's come up.
Jason certainly real happy with each other, Jacob catching the shortstop. He dove out, he sold out hard to try to get him as he overran it, but tells you how hard hit that baseball was. Lucas Lefebvre didn't even try to get the glove in the air in second. That one whizzed by him. You're worried about personal safety at a certain point. A ball gets hit past you that hard.
That's his 4th extra base hit in 4 games. He's basically averaging 1 a game. If it's not a home run, it's a hustle double like you see there, as Anthony Gilbert comes up to bat.
Or it's a walk.
Or it's a walk. Yeah, that's true too. There was a span last year while he was playing for the Maple Leafs where he walked, I believe it was 12 straight at bats. And it was truly remarkable. I was lucky enough to be on the call there with Thomas West down in Toronto for those games, and I mean we were mind blown. You just 12 straight at bats, not 12 straight games, 12 straight at bats. He was walking.
That's too big a sample size to be luck. Like you have to have unbelievable discipline.
0-2. He's taken off for third. Throw down.
Nice grab by him.
Not going to be able to get him as Cassidy Watt, he is peeled over behind the dish right now. And not sure what happened there. It might have been the throw because he is holding it either at his midsection or his arm.
It's just, you can see he's trying to favor. Obviously, the initial fear is it elbow or is it a UCL? Something in that area.
It looks like something in his hand. He's kind of stretching out his hand right now. You mentioned it, though. Those are scary there, especially from a backstop, especially. You never want to see your catcher go down.
It's his throw. The throw is pretty may have potentially hit the bat on the follow through because he looked clean. He looked comfortable. He looked good on the pop here.
So he goes up and he smacked the bat of Gilbert. Yep, that's exactly what it was.
Square in the barrel too.
What looked like happened as we don't apologize. We don't have replay here, unfortunately. But I'm looking here on YouTube. I kind of just went back myself to kind of take a glance at it. And when he comes down, it looks like the wrist or thumb area happened, and he smacked the bat of Anthony Gilbert. He looks like he'll be okay, though, as he stays in the ballgame. Those ones are scary. We saw it today. If you were watching the Blue Jays game earlier today, Brandon Valenzuela, something similar happened to him. And it's just never fun.
Well, this Brantford team's had multiple players, including most recently Tim Holick this time from just basic hand stuff like that. The catchers are glad we have 2 greats offensively behind the net in Savage and Watt, because our catchers get hit all the time. Even umpires this season at Arnold Anderson have had a couple scary moments behind the dish.
Catching the outside corner there for strike 3, Gilbert. Didn't get the favorable call there, and as Arias, he's been peppering with the breaking ball on the outside corner. That time just goes with the fastball.
just need enough against a team that really wants to take your like Guelph to get them out of their rhythm. Otherwise, the second inning is what happens.
Torres watched the first one go by for a ball. And just for Dos Santos, that's stolen base 15 on the season. I think it's pretty safe to say you can call him a very toolsy kind of player. That's called strike one, counts even up 1-1. I mean, if any of you have watched the Moneyball movie, in Moneyball they say 5 stars. You know, the contact, the power, the fielding, the speed, and all of that. And they said Billy Bean, he's talking to the parents, says your son has all of them. And that's kind of what you look at as some of these players is that you can list off what they have, and you said they have 5 tools right there.
And then there's the old heads that want to know how attractive somebody's friend is. That really shows the two sides of the spectrum, don't they? Or who goes to your birthday party? I think that might be
drafted. Yes,
the other
here's the 1-2, and again Torres drops another one into center field. It's a RBI single for Franklin Torres. He has 3 RBIs on the day. I was talking with a couple of the Guelph Royals players and, just talking to them about Franklin Torres, and they just say it is scary how he can go down 0-2 and he'll just somehow be able to flip a ball into the outfield for a base hit like it was nothing. And we've seen it here twice so far on that 2 RBI double hit and now the RBI single as Muskai's first pitch swinging and he fouls it back.
I think that's one of the scariest things that you can find in a profile when you're studying a batter and pitcher is this guy is going to be fearless all the way deep into the count. You kind of take advantage of those guys that are going to be a little bit more take happy or more swing happy when you're a pitcher. If that's a profile you can take advantage of, you will. Torres, it's up there. Sky up here. 2 outs in the inning on deck. Garrett Takamatsu's big bat will come up again. He's really fly out there by Sky. His last time up out to left. And a strikeout by Gilbert. Really the only unproductive outs at all from the top 5 of the lineups.
0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Not chasing it there as Muskai just misses high 1-2.
It's like that's isn't it? You're in a big spot here. You see hitters be really able to work the counts back against Arias. Take that one close in on the hands is impressive stuff.
Just outside 2-2. You can hear a couple of the Royals faithful, and I say the faithful, I mean the kids who are lined up to run the bases in the next half inning. They are chanting down there at the dugout. The Sky fouls that one off. Heads up tack over there on the on-deck circle. It's a beautiful night for a ball game. I mean, there's a little bit of a chilly wind, but it's just one of those late summer games. You go to the ballpark, you can wear a sweater, maybe bring a blanket and just relax and have a good time.
This is the atmosphere baseball should exist in.
It's beautiful. The Sky ropes this. Heads up to everybody down the right field side.
Culture shot coming over from Arnold Anderson Stadium. Obviously, a historic venue there in Brantford over at Cockshot Park. There's a beautiful set of facilities there. One of the most well-known parks in the entire league. But it's so interesting seeing the things that are different here. A very wide baseline here. All the fans sitting on the grass on blankets down the outfield. Really nice facility.
The Sky hits this to Cantor at short, and it eats him up a little bit. And that's a tough play for the shortstop, Jacob Cantor, to make. It's hit right at you on a line, and it's that decision of play it off the bounce that's a foot in front of you or, go for it in the air. And that one, I think you just have to kind of give a hit to Muskai.
I give the banana week, but that's in this league. The best defenders in their head, they chalk it up today, right? They're like, I should have had that one. The big flash plays. You don't make flashy plays if you don't make the hard stuff look big.
Oh, we saw him make one of those We saw Cantor make one of those plays earlier in the ball game where, he ranged to his right and was able to make a beautiful kind of fadeaway throw. Inside, and that catches Tack right on the right hand. Those ones sting, and Takamatsu is going to take a second here.
See also the nice play earlier in the ball game on the double play by Garrett Takamatsu. Since then, though, back on base twice. Last inning, and now the hit by pitch. And again, we talked about it. I don't know what it is in CBL. Somebody can't see it. That's all. Why does he talk about it? Looks like he's going to stand the ball. Still down to the first base umpire. Taking a look. His coach probably taking a look there at his hand.
So it's a bases loaded situation here for Miguel Geraldo. As he swings first pitch, skies this right field side over at first base, tracking, and the catch is made in play. And the Brantford Red Sox tiptoe out of any more big danger here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. We head to the 4th inning. It's 9-1 here for the Guelph Royals. You're watching Royals TV. Welcome back here to Hastings Stadium. It's 9-1 here in the 4th inning. Zach Benoit alongside Marshall Crocker. And the first baseman, Chris Ortega, coming back up for another at-bat here in this one. Again, I was having fun looking at the all-time kind of hits, or all-time stats, I should say. First thing came to mind, Sean Riley, what a career he put together. 207 home runs, over 1,000 career hits. And where is the RBI total? I just had it here a second ago. RBI's 827.
What's up, Brantford? Great Dave Dix there. Scroll past there. We talked about it a little bit on our weekend show. Brantford Red Sox report. You can catch on Rogers TV.
100 doubles. As Ortega lifts this into center field. Leader going back, and he slides. It's in and out of the glove. Ortega chugging for 2, and in there safe.
Very close. It was the misplay. It's always so hard to run straight through it. Chris lost his momentum there at first. He wasn't ready to round. Had to get back on the horse, and the foot speed there isn't as high as some of the other players in the Brantford offense. I was thinking halfway through the air, this one's got a good chance to get him. He just likes it out.
It was a good throw there by Leader to recover. He had to go a long way to try to make that catch, and then just last second dove for it, and it looked like it just kind of went in and out of the glove. But Ortega on second to lead off the inning, and this is what we saw out of Brantford when they scored their only run back in the second. They got that leadoff man on, and then the rest of the order kind of just went to work. As first pitch swinging is Kazemka, and it's going to be down, and how about that from Ashton Patterson? He just fully held Ortega at second.
Indeed, no movement, but at least Brantford's starting to pick up a little bit of offensive momentum. Tim Holick tripled, or whatever we're going to score. It's kind of a close air play out there with Santos. Either way, he got on third last time he was up, and that was his only other time in the ball game. Up to this inning, Guelph had lapped Brantford and gone around the order one extra time through the first 3 innings. Finally, the Red Sox picking up a little bit of steam.
And we talked about the Red Sox and their numbers. I mean, this isn't one of those teams where they're bottom of the league in every offensive category. This is a team that has pop. They have power. They have that contact ability. It's just they haven't been able to put everything fully together yet. And there's some building blocks here for next year. As we see Tim Hulk come up to bat. Hulk's actually the one that got the offense going back in the second inning. He lasered a ball opposite field, and he ended up on third base after the air in right field.
Diamond BC zone, looking at 0-1 here.
Long hold here by Liriano, checking on Ortega at 2. Hulk chases that breaking ball down low. I mean, that is a great pitch out of Elvin Liriano.
We got some popping. Some 200. A home run every 4 games back at D1, played at Cumberland University. It's always a good pop, but this year I think he knows his place in the order. Discipline, patience. Again, that next man up thing Brantford's trying to do, same as Guelph. See what he sees here on 0-2.
And in the dirt, and runner's going to hold. This is kind of a crazy thing to see. Career stolen base numbers, I was kind of scrolling through looking at it. There are 2 active players that are on that list. Justin Gideon came into this year with 91, and Gio Morello came into the year with 87. Those 2 guys, by the end of their careers, could most likely be leading all time in stolen bases. They are still in the primes of their years.
I think he has enough defensive capability, enough defensive versatility. I think his skill set will age well if he stays in the league. He's a guy I'd want.
211 is the current record. As that's another one in the dirt. Counts even up here, 2-2. That one's held by Ryan Spatero from the Barry Baycats. He had 211. Spent 10 years. His final year was in 2019. Played from 2010 to 2019 with the Baycats. Won 6 championships.
This game's played back then, too. Rookie played 30 games in a season once. Still racked up over 200.
Ground ball hit off the mound, and that is a huge Hastings hop that will cash in Ortega. The throw over to third. It's not going to be in time. That'll go down as an RBI single for Tim Hulk, but, I mean, 9 times out of 10 with the bounce that took, Anthony Gilbert has that play. He read it right going to his left, but then it ricochets off the mound and just cuts right, and that's just a crazy Hastings hop.
There's Francisco Martinez back up once again. Again, we had that RBI single from him, continuing that hot stretch for me. Been on at the plate. A rare caught stealing there from him on the base pass, though. The second out back in the second inning. Let's see what he's got here with men on the corners.
Martinez attacked the first pitch that he saw in his first at-bat, and he holds back this time. I went through the Brantford Red Sox lineup and 100% called him Francisco Hernandez. Not, because I think he's Francisco Hernandez. It's just the namesake. You're so used to hearing it from the Barry Baycats player.
You guys probably see Hernandez.
And it's one of those things, you say a player's name and you just associate that first name with one guy.
Check this.
Well, they get him on the appeal there, and it's back-to-back off speeds to start this at bat for Elvin Liriano. 1-1 count. One run is crossed. Nobody out yet. The Red Sox, they're threatening here in this one. Long hold here by Liriano. Checks on the runner. Here's the delivery. It's a breaking ball in the inside half, not called for a strike. Falls behind here, 2-1.
By Martz, because it's what you got to do here. Again, be patient. Work the count up here on Liriano. He's starting to just low a little bit more. He's kind of losing that breaking ball. It's a legitimate piece of the arsenal right now. He really just needs to get one over the plate to reestablish it here against Martinez.
Goes quickly and tries to pick the corner with the fastball and doesn't get it here. So give credit to Francisco Martinez, patient at the plate here in his second at bat.
His development through the season at that Brantford game-ready training facility. He was a guy they said, like, take months off, really reset, really reestablish yourself, get in that form we expected when he came over as an import at the beginning of the season. He has really become a huge X factor to this team late in the year. I can't wait to see what he can do if he comes back next year.
3-1 count. Liriano pick off over to first, and it's not going to be in time. Just checking to see if the runner was going on first move.
Typically low, not a super aggressive guy in the base pass, but I talk about well studied. If there is a talent, there is a cadence being established by Liriano, Tim's going to sniff right through it, even if he's not the fastest runner on the team.
Thought maybe they'd have a play on as well. 3-1 count. You're just trying to get some offense rolling. Liriano, he might have thought the same thing. Here's the 3-1 as if it's roped into right field, down for a base hit and an RBI. Hulk will just stay over there at second. And how about Francisco Martinez? 2 at-bats, 2 RBI singles.
Got to get a piece of whatever he's doing at that training facility. My goodness, man. He just looks like a different player, a different profile than we can expect from him. Ryan heard a lot of times, but he's good on the base paths. He's a raw athlete, a smaller guy. If you watch some of his old footage, some of his old tape from prior to coming up here to Canada, he just swings out of his shoes so hard. He kind of sold out for the power. The last couple of years he played there in the Cuban National Series, but he's so consistent at the plate, and that patience is something that it's a weird thing to think of as cultivating in a training facility, right? Hey, plate discipline. How do you learn that? But in the sim, I think a lot of what Brantford can do, they can some of the pitching equipment they have now with that game ready facility, you can train specific pitches off specific pitchers, and they have enough data they're gathering there in Brantford. Once you've seen a pitcher, you can put their specific stuff kind of in these fancy pitching machines, and you can sort of replicate stuff. And it is weird, right, to describe as taking off-season time to get better at discipline. It feels like something you should work in games. It feels like you need to see pitches, you need to from their prior league to the team, change the culture, but also still looking to improve. That's what Francisco's done this year. Really impressed. The presence he has in this team in a very kind of loaded Brantford outfield.
One of the big things you can notice in game here with Martinez as Liriano, the first pitch there to Lefebvre is inside for ball one. One of the big things you can notice is very quiet at the plate. And what I mean by that is you don't see a lot of movement where a guy's bouncing. He's very quiet. The hands are kind of in that kind of melodic rhythm that you see some hitters have where they're bouncing, but very quiet, doesn't move, and it's quick hands through the middle of the zone. Another one inside half missing. So Lefebvre quickly ahead here, 2-0. He had that line out to Franklin Torres his last time up. Early stages of this ball game, it has really been all Guelph Royals. The offense came alive, especially in that second inning. Lefebvre swings through that for strike one. Other than
I was going to say, look, ball down the middle. Again, just miss low a little bit for Liriano. They have to miss him. I'm going to go to the defense, going to check. Hey, let's just get their feet back on rest. Trust the bullpen a little bit later. You got a big margin to work with. At a certain point, if he wants to stay in this ball game, you got to start getting strikes over the plate.
Lefebvre skies this over to right field. Dos Santos camping. He's under it and not tagging up is Hulk. Good throw in there right to Gilbert from Dos Santos for an out. Yeah. Online and everything. They set that up perfectly. And credit to Tim Hulk saying, I'm not going to test the arm.
It's so hard to quantify defense statistically, and it's one of those things that's what I really take when I ask or I want to learn about a profile for a specific player. I love to ask other commentators and say, okay, what are we looking at? Like, what are this guy's expertise and fielding? Little moments like that. How can you get the ball back in on a hit from the outfield? Nobody talks about it. It's not a stat you can quantify and look and be afraid of. But Ryan Dos Santos always very urgent, very effective from the outfield.
So I think somebody on Welland heard what I was saying, that the Royals are trying to chase him. It is currently 17-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Jackfish have come to play.
Not
Daike Abe is 3 for 5 with 6 RBIs. That is they've scored 17 runs without hitting a home run. 17 home runs without a, or 17 runs without a home run. Wow. Daike Abe has a triple, doesn't have a double, so his other 2 hits have been singles. And man, I don't know what else you can really say. Their offense, when they want to play, they show up.
You can't get away with the roller coaster though. In this CBL, you got to go through a whole playoff run. You can't have those ups and downs. Obviously, a smaller form, this ball game a lot closer. But like we talked about, that next man up, just death by 1,000 paper cuts offense. That same no home runs, but a lot of run production. That's what the Guelph Royals did in the 2nd inning, right? Like that is what you're starting to see from this Royals side as well.
3-0 count, and that's catching the zone for strike 1 here on Walker Holtgren. Liriano, he's been fighting his command here in this inning. Hasn't been as smooth, and I thought you would see this after the 6-run inning that was put up there by the Guelph Royals, but he came out and he shut them down. He put up a 0 after that. Here's the 3-1, grounded right back up the middle. Gilbert can't get there, and they're going to send Holt all the way around. The play over at third, not going to be in time. Martinez is standing, and it's an RBI single for Walker Holtgren.
Yeah, fourth. A guy who often can put the ball up in the air. He likes the stuff up high to challenge a little bit more. But because he's seen that pitch so low that where he can pitch and he can time it up, he's able to put the comeback right up back through the legs of Liriano. And, well, you got Cassidy One here at the bottom of the order, who had a lot of pop last season. He was mashing balls out of the ballpark, a power threat here. And you're back up to the top of the Brantford order. You got to get out of this inning if you're Liriano.
Well, the Guelph Royals wasting no time. You can see jogging down to the bullpen on the left side, or I should say we can see it, is Claudio Custodia. He is going down there. They're going to try to get him loose quickly as Cassidy Watt swings through the first pitch for strike 1.
Cassidy Watt, talking to a scholar of the game, one of the most well-studied, one of the best guys, too. You'll
Chases 1 low there, 0-2. And I was going to say it's going to be interesting to see what his at-bat is here, especially after he ricocheted his right hand off of the bat just a little bit ago. Taking 2 swings here. The first one looked more like a healthy hack. The last one just kind of went against a changeup down and low. 0-2 here to Watt. Here's the pitch from Liriano. Watt slices it right into left field, down for a base hit. And again, you said death by 1,000 cuts. Well, that's another RBI single here for the Brantford Red Sox. They have brought themselves right back into this ball game.
They take advantage of weak pitchers or pitchers that are in the late stages of an appearance better than anybody. It's how effective can you be against the league's elite starters early? Guelph was able to get to Leandro Mejia right from the beginning. It's taken a little bit of time for Brantford, but now that the door's open, got to get a few more. Custodio comes in the game.
You said it, 5 singles in the inning, all the hits so far, and it's 5 out of the last 6 batters have reached via a single, and the last 4 out of the 5 have been RBI singles. Back to the top of the order, it's Cantor, and he gets this off the inside of the hands, and Gilbert tailing back. What a play! Anthony Gilbert. That one looked like it was going to be another single that just kind of bloops in behind the defense, but Gilbert lays out running backwards, makes the catch for a big out number 2.
Jack, if that loaded the bases, that was a big spot here. If Lariano had one out into a bases loaded spot for Brantford's 2 best power hitters, that grab over the shoulder, Gilbert falling over, didn't have his full balance, but some guys just the natural game sense can make the snag even in that spot. That might have changed the game.
Brantford trying to match what Guelph did earlier in the game, putting up a 6 spot. They've put up 4 so far, and you mentioned they have their best power bat up here in Brody Black. One of the players that isn't in the lineup today, Nick Ian-Antone, he has been so good all season long. You know that he would be wanted in a big spot like this, as Brody Black holds off and he's ahead here 2-0.
Good DH has been dealing with a little with an elbow spasm problem here for the last couple of weeks. It's just kind of a nagging injury. He said has been building up over the course of this season. He was trying to DH to just keep it off, but even just his natural swing is starting to strain it a little bit here. So yeah, he's been awesome. Just at his 10th strikeout of the season at a full sample size, just the other game. He is just so patient at the plate. He is the exact guy you'd want in an inning like this.
Well, 3-0 here to Brody Black with another dangerous bat, and Chris Ortega looming on deck. Remember, he's the guy that got this inning started. He hit a ball out to center field. Andy Leader kind of dove for it, and it was in and out of the glove.
Liriano's going to hang a pitch in the 70s for Black to swing. He wants ball 4 here.
Here's 3-0. 3-1. Strike catch in the inside corner there.
I might be trying to minimize, trying to close the window of how much time Black has to go on the swing decision here. Gotta think you could get a whiff from him on 3-1.
Liriano just trying to work out of the inning here. Inside corner, called, strike 2. Black thought it was ball 4. And now we have a full count. The runners will be on the move. So a little bit of movement on the infield here on this 3-2.
Good wheels for Cass there at first. When he gets going in a straight line, he's got some top end.
The Red Sox have put up 4 here. 9-5 is the score. Liriano trying to strand the 2 on base. Here's the full count pitch. And he gets Black swinging through for strike 3. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Red Sox have made a small response. It's 9-5 for the Royals here at Hastings Stadium.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to dead center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Welcome back here to Hastings Stadium. Zach Benoit alongside Marshall Crocker. It is 9-5 here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. We've seen a lot of offense so far here today, and currently it's the Royals just holding that edge as leader. It's a straight foul back. Wake up, everybody right in front of us. Saw everyone kind of jump back saying, whoa.
The kids are
It's still remarkable to me that even with the netting, you see the net clear as day. Everybody still reacts backwards.
Oh, I will.
It's
Friends in Brantford. I'm not used to the
0-1, and leader squaring a bunt, but he's going to foul it back, and quickly behind here, 0-2.
Should get through the order last time, but still kept pressure on there. Last time they saw Jose. Of course, Mejia had the start of that inning, was responsible for the hit by pitch, and then Arias turns it around there towards the end.
0-2 here to Andy Leader. And that one's high and away and counts 1-2.
I have to check out these country hats. I did. I happen to do country game every time I sub in for somebody. I went to the Kitchener Panthers. And I got a cowboy hat. It really picked up my mood the entire broadcast.
Leader rips this one to third base side. Throw across the diamond, pulls Ortega off the bag, and the tag not in time. They're going to say that it was because Ortega was off the base, but now they want to talk about, did he get the tag down?
It's very close. I think he might have. It's going to be an interesting play to score. They say he got him on the tag. I thought he did on the way back, but it's so tough because it's not a natural motion. A lot of first basemen don't have the range, aren't a long enough body. He's got long arms, this Chris, to be able to reach back and swipe tag. You typically would assume, all right, probably couldn't have gotten him. Chris did on that one. That's a big out.
Give credit to Ortega over there. I mean, he got pulled off the bag by the third baseman's throw, and he's still able to kind of spin and get that tag down in time.
Strike one down Main Street there. Yeah, Chris Ortega, he had a lot on his shoulders when it came to defensive versatility last season. He was the guy that was asked to move around quite a bit, played a little bit second, played a lot of third. He's a natural first baseman. I'm glad that he's really settled into that role here this season. Guys like Charlie Towers coming over from Kitchener, guys in this Brantford lineup. AJ Carosis, also a former Panther, that take the versatility on their shoulders, keep the top defenders in the spots they belong.
So it's a 1-1 count here to the backstop, Matthew Ward, and he watches.
So go back for strike two. He's the last hitter today for the Guelph Royals to not get on base. Of course, just the two plate appearances in that sample, but most of the lineup here for Guelph has been on at least twice. Ward trying to join that collective. Super piece here for Ward. Good to see him being patient against Darkins. You got to think you're going to see that wipeout slider as right-hander. I think that's what he's sitting on. Good job to catch up to the fastball, though. There's the swing and a miss on the slider. First one that Arias has gotten on that true breaking slider. Out and away. Sits Ward down. Second strikeout of the day for him. This is the third overall by the Royals. Both of the strikeouts swinging have been by the catcher, Matthew Ward.
That'll bring up Ashton Patterson, who is 1 for 1 on the day. He walked in his first at-bat, and then he reached on a single, scored both times. How fun is it to have a guy in your number 9 spot like Patterson where, you know, he can kind of give you that contact ability to get on base. He can draw a walk, but then you have that exact same profile in the number 1 spot with Ryan Dos Santos. Maybe give him a little bit more pop in the bat.
Room to base pass, too. Make sure you don't landlock. Top of the order. That's what great teams should try to do. Like, try to have that perfect wraparound guy in the 9 spot. Great value on defense. Ashton Patterson could hit at 180 for the season, and he's still productive.
High and outside counts even up here 1-1 against Patterson. You know, with how well Dos Santos has seen the ball in all three of his at-bats, he wants a fourth one here. He wants to try to get to Arias, who he's said to me, there's a couple pitchers that he feels comfortable against just because of how long he's played in the league. Jose Arias is one of those guys. He's seen him so much throughout his career. As Patterson, the count goes up here 2-1 to Ashton.
Well, that's another reason we talked about before, the development of Jose Arias in game ready this season, trying to change that profile as he ages a little bit. Can't rely on the fastball like he could when he was in his young 30s. That's where you got to evolve. You got to keep up, not just on a game-to-game basis, but season to season to keep hitters guessing.
Patterson rips this, but it's fouled down the right field side. It's just one of those things where you have two guys here, Dos Santos on deck and then Arias on the mound, who they've been in the league for so many years. They've definitely faced each other a numerous amount of times. So it's just that kind of comfortableness and that level where you're saying, you know what, I've seen his stuff. And it could go both ways for a pitcher as well. You see a certain batter say, oh, I know his tendencies. I like what he likes to hit. I like know what he doesn't want to swing at and stuff like that. That is a lethal slider in the middle of the zone there to get Patterson down looking. And, well, we talked about when we first came in, Jose Arias, another wicked off speed. We go to the top half of the fifth inning, the score 9-5. Arias gets a huge 1-2-3 inning there for the side of the Red Sox.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Garrett Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Welcome back here to Hastings Stadium, top half of the fifth inning, and it's a familiar face leading off, Chris Ortega. He led off the last inning where the Red Sox got their offense rocking and rolling. First pitch swinging here, and it's fouled off over Brantford's dugout.
That's why Brody Bryson on his shoulders today. When you got arguably the best power hitter, one of the best power hitters in the league, hitting behind you, you want to make sure you keep it alive on 2 outs so that he doesn't have to lead off. This is the second time he's done so.
Ortega out in front of that one, and it's Torres just over in that third base coaching box to make the catch for out number one.
So yeah, it's got underneath one a little bit like we saw earlier. You can see it from the altitude. Balls again. Missing with Powers there in the bat. Looking for the Royals and Liriano the third time he sees him through the order. He's able to shut him down. We might see Custodio. It is still Liriano, the man on the bump.
Yeah, Custodio, he's standing out there in the bullpen. And it's most likely Liriano for at least the fifth inning. And this is kind of the trend we've seen with Guelph. They like to get their guys out there for five innings if possible, and then they give it to the bullpen. The bullpen has really been the strength and backbone of this Royals team this year. 2-0 count now to Christian Kazemka.
I think that's going to decide a lot of playoffs. A lot of teams are really strong in the starting rotation. A lot of those top teams don't have much depth. I think that could be a little special sauce setting them apart. And again, we talked about X factors like if Ryan Dos Santos can continue on this streak, and you got a guy getting on base to lead off every time through the order. That'll be scary on offense.
Liriano behind 3-0, and he pumps in strike one there, 3-1.
He always says just today. 3-0s back on Brody Black alone.
He's gonna get fastball over the middle of the plate. He says every single time. Kind of an exchange of words there between the umpire Kazemka and Liriano as Kazemka rolls over this one to short and in time with a hard throw from Gilbert.
Small margins because that gives someone runner out there the first. Great play by Gilbert.
It's always interesting to watch how these middle infielders or just infielders in general adapt to some of these fields in the CBL. You know, every park kind of has their little different name for the hops. You know, we have the Hastings hop here. I've mentioned it multiple times in Toronto. You called it the Christie bounce. And right there, we almost saw it again. But Anthony Gilbert, he has been solid. He is out there always taking ground balls, getting used to some of these hops. There's obviously the hard ones off the mound where you're just not going to get it if it bounces like that. But it's always an interesting facet of the game to see how these players adjust to all this different, defensive plays.
One interesting Brantford for us is the transition at second base, right where the second baseman would stand between the grass and the dirt. Like there's a strong divot, it creeps up and it catches airtime. And one of the specialists on our team, Lucas Bateman, when he plays second, he just sees the ball off that bounce like nobody else. It makes it more effective on defense than he'd be at any other park in the world. And it's one of the things I love about baseball.
1-1 count here to Tim Holt, and he watches that one go by high for ball two.
I love home park or home court or any advantage. I'm a fan. I've heard the proposal a couple times for basketball. Love the idea of teams drawing their own 3-point line at home. That's awesome. That's
in there for strike two. I wonder, with that that analogy and that mindset, where would Golden State put theirs for Steph Curry? Yeah. Nobody's hitting a three. Nobody's hitting a three out there in Golden State. Here's the 2-2. And Hulk watches it go by.
it's one of the best places to baseball, right?
Yeah.
Tailored to your environment.
Just on the topic of defense, one of the players in Toronto, Brando LaRue, I mean, he's one of those guys where he is so defensive mindset. Thomas West has talked numerously about him on the broadcasts with me. And, you can see him. He's out there every single day before a game taking reps at shortstop. And they're not the soft kind of weak hits. They are full reps. Here's the 3-2 from Liriano, and it's another high fastball. So he went 3 in a row right there to Tim Hulk, where he just couldn't finish down with the pitch. And Hulk will reach.
Third time today.
Left fielder number 22, Francisco.
1 for 2 on the day. He reached all 3 times, like you mentioned. He reached on the air in right field. He reached on a single and now reaches via the walk.
Speaking of, tonight, guys, signals for this gentleman, Francisco Martinez. This guy's stealing his first time up in the second. His hot stretch of form. It's gone from the very first game he came back from his midseason absence.
First pitch here to Martinez is in there for a strike. Goes with the off speed. And I mentioned it in his last at bat. Very quiet at the plate. You can see in his start, the hands kind of moving around. And that's just the getting a player into the rhythm. Once that front foot comes up from Liriano, you see there, just very steady, very quiet, and he's ready to hit as you watch a strike two go by in the outside half.
Nancy Martinez is ramping too many obvious pitchers counts at this time here. This is the first time I've seen him out since his comeback. I want to see what he does here.
We've seen Liriano go with back-to-back breaking balls. Will he give him a heater here? Martinez has ambushed Liriano so far today, especially in that first at-bat. Here's the 0-2. And he went right back to the well with a breaking ball. So 3 straight off speeds for Elvin Liriano. Sits down Francisco Martinez for the 3rd out of the inning. The 2-out walk to Tim Hulk doesn't come back to bite him. We're through 5. Headed to the bottom of the 5th inning here. Royals leading it 9-5.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. Same Royal City. Catch the memories.
Welcome back here to Hastings Stadium. Ryan Dos Santos leading things off here, and just kind of a look around the league in the CBL. Again, if you're watching the CBL score, having a little bit of trouble with some of the scoring in the game. The Toronto and Chatham game, it's 2-2, top 6. Chatham can actually just tied it up. The other game going on, I believe it's still 18-2 for the Welland Jackfish over Kitchener Panthers.
I was for Brantford there, seeing Chatham fight there against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Scored that. Of course, that's the fight for this 6th seed. And I'll tell you, who wants that 6th seed bad? Doesn't have to be a playoff spot. Seeding makes a difference when you look at your success at the end of the year.
0-2 here now to Dos Santos. He has reached all 3 times he's come up to the plate. He hadn't had bat in each of the first 3 innings. Arias quickly ahead. Here's the pitch. Looked like he tried to go a fastball outside half, missing for ball 1.
But it's here where we have to score teams down at 2. Seen Ryan Dos Santos down at too many counts. First time tonight he's opened up 0-2, starting to work his way back already.
Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball away. 2-2. He's done this numerous times this year where a pitcher will get ahead and then he'll just get into kind of defense mode and he won't chase anything outside of the zone, but he will also foul off, protect, and really just kind of be a pesky hitter for anything close.
Seen each other a lot. I think Dos Santos knows that already. Wants to throw it.
Here's the 2-2. And he goes back with the fastball. Gets him swinging for strike 3. The first time all night Dos Santos has been sat down. You can see all of Brantford probably, blowing a sigh of relief.
Yeah, they would be. To get him up high on the line here, to just go up and get it. Have to kind of climb the ladder a little bit when the slider isn't working. He saw the breaking pitch missed on the outside a couple times. It's Gilbert, who did strike out looking his last time up. Hey, it's out on the hands, just misses Gilbert. So Toronto just got out of the inning there at Christie Pitts. A lot of good building blocks there for Chatham as well. I know it's been a rough second half. They lost a lot of pieces, but There's a lot of optimism. I like what's coming out of that camp. A really good fan base over there. I hope that they rebuild, come back from this, and another team that, well, when you lose your top player because he gets drafted by the Texas Rangers, it speaks to the player development you're doing there, and really happy for Evan Morrison. Green, of course, going up as well.
Yeah, that's the big thing with Chatham Kent as Gilbert swings through that one. It's 1-2. It's not that Chatham Kent just kind of, stopped playing good baseball. It's just they had so many guys. They were so good. They got called
ravaged.
up. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Morrison. He's in the MILB now. A couple of other players going and playing in the Chinese league.
Yep. They lost as well. He went.
Yeah, the Frontier League. It's just their guys were playing so well to start the season that these other higher up leagues that are growing and they're these guys that are trying to get reps and exposure more, they're just picking them one by one, and it's been just tough goings for the side of the Chatham Kent Barnstormers.
That's probably the most important half of the season. Pre-transaction deadline. Get guys to buy in. Be a top player. Don't leave the ball club.
Count going here, 3-2 to Anthony Gilbert.
Now, once again, Jose's been in this spot quite a bit of times. Often goes slider on 3.
And that's in the dirt, and Gilbert works the walk. Good patience at the plate by Anthony Gilbert.
This we've seen on a full count slider from Jose. No real movement. Greg Rapp was up and talking to bench coach and owner Terry Smith out there. Risen getting ready there for Brantford. I said it earlier. He gets on the wing. It's going to see Portolato likely come out of the bullpen and probably try to take it to the late innings. And you'd love to be able to pitch your closer tonight if you're Brantford.
Well, we kind of already know the game plan for the side of the Royals. They're probably going to go Claudio to Pineda to Escorcia. That's kind of been the three-headed monster in the bullpen for them the last number of weeks. At one point, Pineda and Escorcia, they were combined for almost 20 innings of scoreless work. They had the longest streak. That got snapped.
It's repetitive. To have a predictable run, to have, again, talking about next man up on offense, to get that from a bullpen pitching perspective is so valuable. And again, that's what even some of the top teams in this league can't do, is roll out 3 consecutive bullpen guys, all of whom they trust.
2-0 count here to Torres, and he watches a nasty breaking ball there. It's 2-1. The longest active scoreless streak currently is Connor Corey. He's gone 5 games. Jose Arias was there with 3, but I believe he has allowed 1 run here in his inning of work. Yes, in the 3rd inning. Another player, the longest one without allowing a home run is for Brantford. The 3rd longest is Cade Kozak.
Bounced back quite well. Bo Buckley working his way.
And called, strike 2, full count now onto Torres. The longest active on base streak, it was held by Victor Miskai, and it has stopped at 30 games. James Smybert now has taken the lead for the Welland Jackfish, 31 straight. Ground ball hit right up the middle, and that's on second base. Throw to first in time.
That looks great. That is one of the most double plays in the hit front I've ever seen.
Yeah, you can't say anything about that. One of the most unfortunate placements there for Torres. He makes contact, but it's right on the base to beat Gilbert. Inning-ending double play, still 9-5 as we head to the 6th inning here at Hastings Stadium.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Happy Saturday night. Welcome back to Canadian Baseball League action live from Hastings Stadium. Brantford Red Sox here as it's Claudio Custodio taking over on the mound with a 4-run lead to his advantage. Number 5 score as he comes in. We talked about it a little earlier. Zach always want to go 5 innings. Stay all the way through to the very effective arm of number 26, Claudio Custodio.
Yeah, and Elvin Liriano, that's kind of what we've seen from him. If it's not just pure dominance, he's grinding through outings, and he does that just there. Gets through 5, makes way for Claudio, who wouldn't be surprised to see him go 2 innings here in this one, as Lefebvre fouls this one off.
So it's going to be Lefebvre looking at the bottom here for Brantford this season. They'd love to get it back to Jacob Cancer. And then I'm saying it ad nauseum. Brantford fans are probably sick of hearing it at home. Water finds its level. I always get worried when a hitter goes on a bit of a rough stretch that has more in that. Cody Black, in fact, he struck out 3 times today. I think he's going to find a little bit of success here. Red Sox hope it'll be in this inning. Go that deep if you're cheering for the road side.
It's one of those things. The laws of averages always kind of plays a factor as Custodio gets Lefebvre swinging there for strike 3. This is the Claudio Custodio we've been so used to seeing here in Guelph. He has come back and he has looked just as sharp, if not better.
Is he nicknamed Custodian here?
That's a fantastic nickname that I'm ashamed I didn't think of. I didn't name him that. So far this season, 17 1/3 innings pitch, ERA sitting at 2.08. Currently 6 2/3 scoreless innings. He last gave up a run to the Hamilton Cardinals. Gave up 2 runs there. Back on August 3rd. Other than that, it's been scoreless stuff. And the biggest one was the 3 scoreless innings he pitched where he only faced 9 batters against the Welland Jackfish.
Talking about the roller coaster, right? Slumps. That's the thing for Welland. I don't think they're quite as scary of a team this first round as they've been maybe in any year this decade, right?
We've seen that team have tons of dominance, and I mean, they've put it on display this year. The offensive numbers, I think they lead in almost every single offensive category. And then you look at stolen bases, and they're ahead by about 70 on second place. As Claudio fighting his control here, it's a 4-pitch walk against Walker Holtgren.
I believe Walker's just second walk of the season, contrary to the name. He's found himself in a lot of late counts. He trusts his bat, he trusts his power. He's often going to swing on late counts. He's just gotten on the wrong side of it a couple times this season. Nice to see the discipline there. Kind of slowing down Custodio after a very hot start against Lefebvre.
Brings up the number 9 hitter in Cassidy Watt, who is 1 for 2. He struck out looking, and he also had an RBI single his last time up. It was in a string of about 4 straight RBI singles from Brantford Red Sox hitters. And he places this in the exact same spot he did in his last at-bat, right in front of Patterson. That's another single there for Cassidy Watt.
So I was talking about what do you do for the bottom of the order? The top back up in these big innings. Jacob Cantor will come up here. If he can make sure you avoid the double, which Cass is a good shot to run it out there as a pretty quick man on the base pass. That could bring up Brody Black. And again, we talked about it. 3 strikeouts at this point in the ball game. Once he got in the bat in the 4th time up.
Cantor 0 for 2 on the day so far. Walked and caused havoc on the base paths in the first inning. Kind of a rare appearance we're seeing here of Custodio where the command isn't there so far. We've seen him work out of trouble before. There's a really good looking off speed to get back in the count and the zone.
Future events of Brantford the first time in soft because of that command. He just attacked the zone. His first inning he came in. I don't think he threw a ball until maybe his 5th batter faced.
When he is in the zone and he is locked in, it is very tough for hitters to square him up. That's an off-speed low missing.
And you can't teach that confidence, right? That ability to know, I trust my stuff. I know my placement. I can attack, and I don't need to worry about what. Of course, Cassidy wants to have him second guessing after the big swipe a moment ago.
The 2023 Pitcher of the Year had a 1.61 ERA. As he swings through that one, counts 2-2.
Meeting Jacob Cantor's mom, Lisa, earlier this season at a Red Sox game. Red Sox players come from within the country, but they come from the West Coast or on the East Coast. Often Lisa and the Cantor family will watch the road games as well. So
2-2 count. Cantor watches that one go by. That's always got to be a cool feeling, right?
It's cool. It's cool to remember, like these guys from all over the country. It can be so easy up here on the broadcast because they feel kind of insular, right? We don't get the opportunity often to see the faces at home that they get to join along in these ball games with us every week. To know that there are people as far west as coast of BC and as far east as the coast of the islands there. It's I mean, baseball is a national and international global game, and just to get a reminder of that's really cool.
Well, it's a bases loaded situation here for Claudio Custodio with Brody Black coming up. 1 out here, and Cantor, he was the one that just drew the walk. He's on base for the 2nd time today. And you got to think here from the Brantford perspective, Brody Black, this is a moment that he's wants in this game. It's been a tough day at the plate for him. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts, less than 2 outs in the situation. You have a dangerous hitter right behind you as well. You're just trying to find a way to put a bat on the ball.
More of a goldfish than an elephant, as I always say. Got to forget what's happened at this point. Be confident. Attack the baseball.
Inside half, and I think he broke the lumber on that swing.
And he might have broke the tree over the visitor dugout.
Right off the hands, and yeah, he's getting a new piece of wood.
Let's find this moment here. Sit down, take a step, take a pause, take a moment. Say, all right, big opportunity here. You know the momentum has swung your way. You have a little bit more leeway. Every time he's come up today, he's come out with 2 outs up on the board already. I like here that he's got Chris Ortega behind him. Another power bat to carry the load. The one thing you don't want to do is grind into a double.
And if you're on the opposite side of the coin here for Claudio, this is a batter you want to attack. You want to try to get ahead on. A guy that's 0 for 3 on the day. You're in a situation here where the tying run technically stands at the plate. You're trying to punch him out, and you get that first strike. That's huge for Claudio. Black gets the new bat back in the box, and here we are for another pitch. 0-1, and he swings through it 0-2.
Let's put it in the shallow outfield. You just got to put a ball here in play if you're Brody.
Claudio looking for a big-time strikeout here. Here's the 0-2. And inside, right off that left arm, and that's going to cash in a run, but more dangerously, that's going to put the go-ahead run in Chris Ortega at the plate.
With an out to spare. That is a big, big pitch there. You had to feel like the momentum really went Custodio's way. He really started off hot there. It was a big whiff on a pitch well inside. You got to think he obviously aimed for that spot again. Went back to the inside. That is one that if that misses by a couple inches, it's just taken for a ball, and then he gets this punch out on Brody Black for the fourth time today. I think Brody comes up a lot more confident his fifth time to the plate, having been hit by that pitch, opposed to striking out a fourth time.
Well, this is probably the biggest momentum shift in the game. You have Chris Ortega coming up, a dominant power bat in this Brantford lineup. Bases loaded, less than 2 outs, and they trail by 3 now.
Of course, the All-Star starter on the south side of first base, back-to-back home run derbies. He's a victim of the terrible wind, the headwind blowing in out there at Bernie Arbor from left field. Righty's going to die.
0-1. Ground ball, hit to third. Torres, bare hands, throws to first in time. The run does come across to score. But how about the play out of Franklin Torres?
Really good momentum there. Really good job to, again, attack the baseball on a high bounce. Gets it right in the hand. No time to have to transfer from the glove. That's a great play. That's a great play. And he was going to Chris Ortega all the way. Again, not one of the faster runners, but a lot of these tall bodies in the CBL, once they get going in a straight line, plays get close at first. Torres, nice job on that one.
So now the tying run stands at second. It's Christian Kazemka coming up to bat. Ortega does a job right there. That's the biggest thing you can ask for him. He gets another run in, and this is probably the first time all ball game where Brantford, they're starting to put a little bit of pressure on Guelph, and Guelph are starting to feel like the Red Sox are climbing back in this. First pitch there, and that's 3 straight batters now with the first pitch strike from Claudio Custodio.
Basically got a call there on the outside. It's one of those guys similar to what we talked about earlier with Mejia. These true hard velo fastballers. They get a couple calls on the outside of the zone, and you get hitters going, man, I got to swing it there. That is when they're most effective.
0-1, make it 1-1 now. Just watch Glaven Pineda run down to the bullpen. Another arm is up there and throwing. It might be Andrew Case. I did see him here at the ballpark tonight. Another one of their high-end relievers. A grounder pulled to third. Torres takes on a hop. Throw across the diamond in time. And the inning is over. The Red Sox, they threaten yet again and are able to put 2 up on the board. They've made this a ball game. It's 9-7 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning here in Guelph, Ontario.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to dead center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High deep and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. Same Royal City. Catch the memories.
Saturday evening. Marshall Crocker and Zach Benoit here as we return for the bottom 6th inning here at Hastings Stadium. Now on the mound for the Red Sox, a gentleman who has yet to give up a run in 2026, wearing the blue, red, white. Adeline Moran now joins the ball game. Number 12, fresh off a season last year. Put up an ERA under 2.5. He's always been effective at limiting runs. This year, the start of the season didn't go his way in Chatham. At one point, the ERA up over 16. He's really dialed it in. He's looked good since he debuted here in Brantford. Now he comes in a much more high leverage spot. Expecting a few innings ago.
Misses out there. Count evens up 1-1.
And Amherstburg, 20 minutes now.
Maskai swings through that, and it's fouled off over the Royals dugout. 25-year-old, like you mentioned, out of Amherstburg. Spent 4 years, 3 of them with the Barnstormers.
Great mustache. Well, the great mustache. He's a fan favorite in the making.
Ahead of Victor Maskai here. That's an off-speed that catches the outside corner for strike 3. Yeah, Arias did a real good job through the middle innings there. He had a little bumpy 3rd inning, but really cleaned things up in the 4th and the 5th. He retired 6 straight. And it's kind of carried over here into Morin, who sits down the first batter he sees in a dangerous bat in Victor Maskai.
Catalan just had trouble at the start of the season. That was 8 appearances, 7 2/3 innings pitched. It was just a case of just couldn't quite string effective appearances together. So 2 good ones to start here in Brantford.
This is lifted to deep right field. It's tailing towards the right field line, and the catch will be made by Brody Black. Those ones are always awkward off the bat of a very powerful hitter like Garrett Takamatsu, where it goes up and it starts tailing away from you.
We've talked about the wind a little bit. These guys blowing in. It's changed direction a couple times. The flags out there in field. But big front. You can hear from players these night games. The ball just travels a little bit more actively. You see more movement out there in the outfield area. A lot of these outfielders for Brantford haven't been tested much today. Most of Guelph's production was all on the ground.
Miguel Geraldo up to bat. He's 0 for 2 on the day. He reached base back in the 2nd inning. Sorry, he's 1 for. Yeah, I completely forgot that he had 2 at-bats. He was the one guy there. He had the RBI single as well as the air, and he this time crushes it. Left field at the wall, and the catch is made to retire the side. He looked like he got every stitch of that baseball, but it got knocked down, and credit to Francisco Martinez hustling over the line to make that grab. The Royals almost get one back, but it's still going to be a 2-run game as we head to the 7th inning here at Hastings.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Garrett Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans, thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era, built on the history that brought us here, shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Welcome back here to Hastings Stadium. Brandon Dean's the new pitcher into the ball game here for the Guelph Royals. He'll face Tim Hulk, Francisco Martinez, and Lucas Lefebvre. That's fouled right off of Matthew Ward.
Well, at this point for Brantford, it's been 1 inning off, 1 inning on, 1 inning off, 1 inning on, 1 inning on. So I would suggest that it's going to here for Brantford. I to continue scoring runs, not even just within the rhythm of one string of momentum. I think it speaks to something Brantford really hasn't had a lot of this season. A lot of the Red Sox runs come in the same inning, and then they can go a little bit cold through a couple. Well, still trying to get back on the board for the first time since the third back on the other side. Dean's now on the mound here.
Dean's a big arm from the right side. Real powerful fastball he possesses.
Wider, something a little bit different than we've seen from Custodio. A little bit more shallow the way he handles the ball.
Kind of slingshots it feels like, across the plate. Off speed there, misses inside, 2-1. Played for Oakland University through his college career, then went to Humber here in the OCAA. Broke a lot of the records in the OCAA in his 2 years, as this is lifted. Back behind home plate, Ward gives it a chase, but it'll sail out of play. I jokingly say sometimes, the Royals, they have really good merchandise. You've seen the cowboy hats are out tonight for country night, the sweaters, the t-shirts. Humber College does a really good job to fight for that number one spot. As that's in there for strike three. A door breaking ball gets Tim Hulk sat down. Just to finish that thought really quick, Brandon Deans walked into the ballpark today wearing the cowboy hat, obviously, country night. Has a cut off shirt of something from Humber, and it says "Home Sweet Humber." And
Nice.
yeah, it's just one of those things where a lot of great merchandise for teams or schools, colleges, whatnot. But Hawk, Howie Hawk.
Howie Hawk.
Yep. I can give you a whole tangent about that. Again, I've been lucky. I've worked alongside Humber for numerous amounts of years. That's in there. Counts 1-1.
Friars and Rams, great. I love alliteration. TNU Bolt. It's an adjective. What are we doing? I think we'll be the Falcons within a couple of years. We're mascots together. But
That's in there for strike two. And Brandon Deans 1-2 now. He's pumping that fastball.
speaking of college, just about the Dean's list, if he keeps pitching like this, looking very effective tonight.
Winds back. Here's the pitch. And he gets him with a heavy fastball for strike three. His second strikeout of the inning.
Second baseman number 5,
Where in the order Brantford is the fake going to come up here? Hold in behind. He's got on base on the first and the last two times he's come up. Cassidy won, consistent on base, really good this year with the singles, good discipline, and then he could wrap back around to the top of the order. I think if you're Lefebvre, you really want to get on, you really want to pass the buck over to him.
Deans, his last time out, pitched against the Kitchener Panthers on August 6th, where he went 1 inning, allowed 1 run, 1 hit. It was a home run, and he struck out 3. This time around, he's faced 2 batters, and he's already struck out both of them as he falls behind here 2-0 to Walker Holtgren.
I'm a little surprised to see Dean, 25 years old. He carries himself really. He's a mature presence, even off. He's noticed it.
That's in there for strike one. He graduated out of the Police Foundation program.
Really?
And again, apologies, Brandon. I do not remember what force he is a part of, but I do know he is a part of a force. I do not recall if it's Halton Hills or not, but I think it is. 2-2 goes the count here for Deans. Here's the 2-2. And it's fouled to the backstop there by Holtgren.
You're hoping to bring up Balloons. I'm trying the jersey number.
Oh,
This
excuse
is
me. Yes,
actually Agent Corrosive, so I should clarify, has come into pinch hit. He often hits late. So he's going to substitute in at second, you got to think. Corosive just misses that one well up and over the catcher.
yes, excuse me. Holtgren is the batter on deck.
So it's Corosive, the former Kitchener Panther, going to leave Lefebvre. Sometimes he slides across to play third. We'll have to see if Tim Holick is still in the ball game. Because often Crosis will slide over to third. They'll put a defensive sub in there for Holick. Likely, I would guess Charlie Towers. That's what they're going to do.
That misses in the dirt. It's going to be a walk. And I believe that this is his second at-bat of the ballgame. I think he came in last inning as well, but him and Lefebvre are both wearing number 5. So
it swaps. That's what I said. They got to bring Holgren up if you're Brantford because you like the optics of a guy like Cassidy Watt, or of course your leadoff guy Jacob Cantor hitting to open up the 8th inning.
Cassidy Watt has had 2 really good at-bats after striking out looking in his first one. He's got an RBI single and an single in his last one as well. 2 for 3 on the day. And even Walker Holgren worked a walk, scored in his last at-bat. He also has an RBI single back in that 4th inning.
Walker, like a premier defensive center fielder as well. We talked a lot about Ashton Patterson, is so effective on defense with the base pass. He doesn't have to hit consistently. Holgren's another one of those guys. If you're a Brantford fan, he keeps in this run of form. He works that at one point sub 200 batting average up above 300. You're one of the league's best at that point. Just off the defensive.
He's ahead of the count here, 2-0. Deans trying to find it here to get out of the inning. Gets him swinging wildly there. Deans went right after the first 2 hitters, striking out both of them, one looking, one swinging. Corosive, he then worked an at-bat where he was down 0-2 and worked it back full and eventually got the walk. And here we are now, 2-1 onto Holtgren. Looks like another off-speed low, and Deans has found form here, 2-2 again.
It's going to call time. Holgren had one run this season. The massive blast at home. That was the game we broke our 31 game head-to-head losing streak against the Welland Jagfish. I took the game off. I was the director of the broadcast. I was at field level. It is one of the prettiest swings I've ever seen in my life.
Here's the 2-2. Gets him swinging. First strike 3. Deans has one reach via a walk, but he strikes out the side, leaves one stranded at first. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's 9-7 here for the Guelph Royals over the Brantford Red Sox.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
to some Saturday night Canadian Baseball League action in a very congested, very packed final couple of weeks of August. Pitch bottom of the seventh inning, skied up in the air. Off the bat of Andy Leader out to center. It's Holgren underneath it to record a quick first out in Caddo and Moran's second inning of work.
Got caught mid-sip there as we were coming back from the break, and it's pop. So it's like, you try to talk immediately after having a sip of Coca-Cola, and it just tells you no. So that's what happened there.
There's too much to belch into the mic.
I was about to say something, and I said, if I talk, this is not going to end well. So we just had to stop it. Andy Leader, as you mentioned, he flies out to center field there on the first pitch. It brings up Matthew Ward and Ashton Patterson follow. It was 7-8-9 due up here in this inning.
Where the final batter for the Royals did not appear on base at any point tonight.
Swings through that is Wardo and fouls it to the backstop. I think he has to get some spray there on the bat. Yeah. It slipped out of his hand. Have you ever played ball? If you did, were you a spray guy or were you a pine tar guy?
No, I didn't play enough to have to make a big decision
No?
like that. I wish I did. I think it would have been a good catch because I hate my knees, but I always wanted to play.
See, I played a while. I play a little bit still, but not to this level whatsoever. I'm a big pine tar guy on the bat. I don't like the spray.
What is it about?
I think it's also just the scent of just the pine tar that you smell on your hands. Yeah, for me anyway. I don't know. Everyone's a little bit different.
Like, does one feel different? I think pine tar will evolve as you.
Yeah, I think pine tar lasts a little bit longer. I believe. I could be wrong on that. 1-1 count here to Ward, and that's outside missing. Counts now 2-1 here to the Guelph Royals backstop.
I feel like that the league has done a really good job to crack down on substances on pitchers. Like, I love the check. I'm a little surprised that the defined checks when pitchers come back out every inning wasn't a more defined thing until this season.
Well, the CBL adopting a lot of rules that we've seen in pro baseballs. This is a line shot to Cantor. Takes it on a hop, spinning throw in time. Jacob Cantor, he had a ball earlier in the ball game. He let it eat him up. That time he attacks it. And it's a beautiful spinning toss over there to first to get Ward.
The man from Philadelphia, my goodness. Jacob Cantor makes the spinning plays look routine. He's the guy that I always wonder. He's so confident on those plays behind him. Make that quick spin straight into the flip turn. You know, goalies when you're growing up in hockey that do the extra kind of flick around with the arm on a catch that could look routine. Sometimes I think JC does the little spin, just adds some flair. Because man, he can make highlight reel plays with the best of them. And a nice extension there by Chris Ortega. The ball a little bit from the plate. Gets to it quite well.
That'll bring up Ashton Patterson. Struck out looking his last time up. That was back in the fourth. This Guelph Royals team, this time through the order, they have really been shut down by the pitching staff of the Brantford Red Sox. Only one player's reach, and then he was immediately taken off the base paths by a double play. Patterson trying to spark something here. Top of the order looming on deck. That's Ryan Dos Santos. Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2. Chase that breaking ball.
Really efficient innings right here. 6 up, 6 down since he came in the ball game. 7 consecutive outs recorded, including a double play to lead that off. Anthony Gilbert walked back in the 5th. That was the last man on for the Guelph Royals.
Oh, 2. Here's the pitch. He went a little further with the breaking ball, and Watt just tried to glove it there. Couldn't keep it in front of him.
Not play if you're the man on the mountains here. No reason not to attack on the flip side if you're Ashton Patterson.
So it appears the day is done for Brandon Deans. He's looking off towards that left field line. He's walking towards the bullpen. Usually we don't see that from pitchers that are still in the game locked in. As that's another breaking ball low and away.
And he got wonder if he had gotten of that 3 up, 3 down that he was on pace for. Well, Brantford got a couple of batters on there against Deans if he would have done that extra inning. And I think if you take him out an inning early, that's a success for Brantford. The way he was looking at first group of batters.
It looks like the man replacing him is going to be Andrew Case. And no, it's not because I can see the jersey number, but I think I see his 2 kids standing out there in the corner with him. He's down there looming around the left field wall.
Case is Red Sox well in the past. He went off a bullpen game earlier this season. I believe he went 4 innings of 1 or 2 hit ball.
2-2 count here to the number 9 hitter. Morin trying to get out of it. And that's another breaking ball he misses wide, so it's a full count now to Ashton Patterson.
That's right. He's trying to put too much competitive in play. Even the ball that he's space line.
Here's the full count. Patterson lifts it, shallow left field. Martinez coming in, and he'll make the grab. So again, the Royals go 1-2-3, and they'll have a new pitcher in the ball game for the 8th. It will be Andrew Case comes in to try to protect a 2-run lead. More on him when we come back here to Hastings Stadium.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Garrett Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High deep and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. Same Royal City. Catch the memories.
Welcome back here to the 8th inning at Hastings Stadium. Andrew Case coming onto the mound, and well, we were heaving away as he was walking in. Case has been terrific this season. First pitch there, high, missing.
Classic The Fables jam, of course. I said it in that last inning, of course. The pattern we talked about, inning on, inning off, comes to the Red Sox scoring. They've scored on and off all the way through. Big opportunity here to bring Cassidy Watt up to the plate. That was really clutch by AJ Carrozas there to walk in the last inning to bring a guy as an on-base threat. Has been really effective this season. Not usually the profile you expect from a catcher to have Cass kind of the turnaround man to get back to the top of the order. That's 2-0, and that becomes 2-1 as Andrew Case starts to pound the zone the way Brandon Deans did.
Andrew Case has had 3 seasons here. This is his 3rd year with the Guelph Royals, and this is statistically his best season so far. A 1.37 ERA, 16 games pitched, 19 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 17 hits, 3 earned runs. He struck out 25 batters and walked none. He is in the zone. He is attacking hitters. He has been terrific in the back end of the bullpen here for the Guelph Royals. And earlier in the ball game, I was discussing it. Pineda, Escorcio, those are two guys that have been a staple in the back of the bullpen. You cannot forget about Andrew Case. Here's the 2-2 to Watt, and he swings through it for strike 3.
4 Ks in the last 5 batters. Yeah, Wild. And I talked before about the success in the Canadian Baseball League this year seems to be having 3 solid starters that can win you games consistently. Well, might have the special sauce. This bullpen is unbelievable, and just the raw stuff.
Talked with Dino Ramel about the bullpen and just the trust he has, and he says whenever we have a lead, I have absolute faith in every guy back there. As this is hit over to short, Gilbert takes on a hop, throw across, pulls Masai off the bag, but he'll tag him out, running down for out number 2.
How was it sitting there by Gilbert? That spin to the left on it. He got it just in time. Had a very good chance to roll out. Makes the snag. A nice play by Masai. Cuts up to step off and still make the tag.
Brody Black coming back up. He was hit by a pitch, but got the RBIs last time up. Again, one of the players, and the reason why this game is 9-7 right now. Brantford have been scratching and clawing to get back here, but is it now just a matter of too little too late with the guys available in the bullpen and the guy that's on the mound right now for the Guelph Royals? Outside, and it's 2-0.
And you got to just let the water roll off your back from those 3 early strikeouts. You get the hit by pitch. I know you're down in a 2-strike count there as well, but you get yourself out of that inning. I talked about it at the time. That is a big moment to avoid that 4th K. Just changes the headspace completely coming into this spot here, and he knows he's good. That bat produced a ton of RBIs last season. Obviously, 7 homers as well.
2-0. Line right back up the middle. That's down for a base hit. So the first 3 at-bats for Brody Black, they were a little bit shaky. Was 0-3 with 3 strikeouts. The last 2, hit by a pitch, gets an RBI. This time he lines a ball right back up the middle.
Well, now you're Chris Ortega, a big home run shot away from tying the ball game, and it's just what you gotta do when you're the big power hitters in a league where power is so common. High-scoring offensive innings are very frequent. Sometimes, even if your team loses that momentum a little bit with that next man up, death by 1,000 paper cuts, 2 efficient hitters to put 2 runs up on the board just like that. That's what the man on the mound, Case, needs to avoid here.
Black took a big initial lead and was not going as that's fouled off, and Ortega's down 0-1.
He loves that big hop step. It's Brody Black. He doesn't often set up too far off first base, but he takes that huge hop. He's another guy like Tim Holick, really studies these pitchers. If there is a noticeable cadence, if there's something you can exploit in Case's timing, he's going to do it here.
12 stolen bases on the year, as this is a line shot through the hole on the right side for a base hit.
We're coming from the Brantford dugout as Christian Kazemka walks up to the plate with 2 in front of him. It's a new bat form, bright blue kind of turquoise barrel bat there. He's managed to work 3 different numbers and I believe 4 different helmets this season as Christian Kazemka. And as we mentioned earlier, he's played 8 positions. He's man of variety.
Wonder how many bats he's used this season.
He's broke a couple actually. Now that I think of it, it's half the equipment budget one year.
So Andrew Case retired the first 2 batters pretty handedly. Then the next 2 in Black and Ortega, 2 hard-hit singles. Kazemka has a base hit tonight. He also scored back in the big 4th inning for the Brantford Red Sox.
Pitcher Case deleted off him. Just enough break and movement to convince Kazemka it was leaving the zone. Go back to that again.
Here's the 0-1. Quickly, 0-2 there from Case. I think this is the difference that we saw to Brody Black and Ortega. He fell behind quickly, and those 2 were just sitting waiting for that kind of fastball to get back in the count. This time, ahead in the count, 0-2. This is what we saw at the start of the inning when he got Watt to swing and miss. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball low and away, and Kazemka doesn't chase.
So Tim Holick now warming up on deck, which means they're not going to go with the full defensive substitution. Brantford not going to put Charlie Towers in the ball game. You may see them if they get a lead in the extra innings, but will still be the great bat of Holick, one of this year's All-Star reserves.
1-2. Pull to third. Torres takes on a hop, the race to third, and it's going to be won by Franklin Torres. He was really hugging that line. Read the play perfectly, and they get out of trouble. No runs will score. 2 are stranded. It's still 9-7 for the Guelph Royals over the Brantford Red Sox here in Hastings.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Yeah. Can't answer my phone now. Just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.
Back here in the bottom half of the 8th, top of the order, it's Dos Santos, Gilbert, and Torres due up here. Franklin Torres got the last out of the last inning. Big play there. As Dos Santos squares to bunt, and
It's the fourth time Ryan's let off today.
yeah,
It's getting ridiculous.
1-0 in the count. Squaring to bunt again. He's trying to pull it over to second base. That time goes through. It's 1-1. I always get a chance to kind of talk with Ryan about, what his mindset is and everything that he goes through at the plate. And one of the favorite things that he's told me is when he hits the ball, he's always talking to himself. So he says when he hits the ball, he also goes whack. Very vocal. As that's an off-speed missing low, counts 2-1.
So what noise does he make with the bat breaks?
Dang it! I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, every time he swings and he makes a good contact, he just goes. 2-1, fastball high, make it 3-1. Again, he's already walked twice today. The on-base percentage is just phenomenal so far in this ballgame for Dos Santos.
No team has mic'd up a hitter yet. The CBL season have that. I know some players just don't want to bother.
I know the Guelph Royals social media team, they love to do it for the pregame. They have yet to do it for the actual game. 3-1 count. Long hold here by Morin. And it's a fastball that catches the corner. Full count, 3-2.
Haven't talked about it much to this point in the game. It just take a baseball savant to understand the top team of the non-playoff teams here on the road in Brantford against a team trying to lock their way into the playoffs. Beats Brantford tonight. That is pretty much a signed, sealed, delivered playoff spot.
Yeah, I believe it's if Guelph wins tonight, they secure a playoff spot. Here's the 3-2. And it misses away for the third time tonight. Dos Santos will take a free bag. League-leading 33rd walk of the season. He's only 13 away from his record.
Did Zeppieri get any more today in Kitchener? That's the question. But
I saw he had one.
had one early there in Welland.
Can actually pull it up and try to find out here.
So has got 3 passes coming into this.
Zeppieri only one so far in 4 at-bats is what it says. Again, obviously, we know the CBL website has been having a little bit of technical difficulties of their own.
Yeah, 2 teams have had Highway 7. Lots of records atop the leaderboard right now in stat categories.
Gilbert's bunting, something we don't ever see. Holt comes in, and that's going to be an infield single, or I should say a bunt single for Anthony Gilbert.
So do it more often, it appears. That was his next one.
This is a guy who hits the stitches out of baseballs, and we see him drop down what is maybe the best bunt here at Hastings. Yeah, he caught everybody sleeping.
Well, that's why it's talked a lot about in this league this year, but it's these big power guys. Why are they bunting? Well, that's exactly why. The surprise is a major element of why you do it.
And I think the biggest thing is, nobody has an ego. Everyone has that mentality of let's just pass the torch, right?
Yeah.
We're all a good team. Everyone here in 1 through 9 is solid. As we're having a player run down to the bullpen, I think that might be to tell the arm, hey, you're coming to the ball game here. And yeah, it definitely is. As I see a hat walking along that right field wall. So I think a pitching change is coming here for the Brantford Red Sox.
Craig is in the long reliever. Would typically be the setup in perfect condition. He'll often pitch the late innings, scores 24. And then it's Harrington with Cruz, the man who closes the ball games typically when the Red Sox are ahead. Holden pitched in that game against Welland back on Tuesday, pardon me. Don't know if we're going to see. That's not Holden Craig there running his way out of the right.
Well, we'll have a new pitcher in the ball game. We'll have more on him after this short break. You're watching the Guelph Royals and the Brantford Red Sox. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium, and in a move that kind of shocked us all, Christian Kazemka, the designated hitter, is coming into pitch, and this is going to be bunted down. Hulk has nowhere to put it. So how about 2 of your best hitters in Anthony Gilbert and Franklin Torres laying down bunts to have the bases loaded here for Victor Mascai?
Depending how they score it, we'll see if they rule out an E5 there on the third baseman. He had time to fifth second, so he wasn't trying to rush a chance in the double play. Timmy's still coming back from injury, still got an attempt to mistake with no outs on the board is going to load the bases for who else? Victor Mascai.
This is in the dirt and it's blocked by Watt. So again, you're my expert here for everything Red Sox. So I looked at you and I said, is Kazemka a guy that comes in often or pitches often? You said he's more so just a guy that kind of eats up innings and
he'll get through two or three, put very little on the board. It's just a big, high leverage spot. Aim right bottom of the down by 2.
that's what shocked me is that they're very much in this ball game. Granted, the situation at the time was him coming in, nobody out, 2 runners on in the heart of the order coming up. As Mascai fouls this off, it's 1-1.
Context, of course, being 2 games in the next 2 days. Right? We play at home, we'll be back. And back at home on Monday night, a rescheduled game against Hamilton in the evening. So, right, you got to get through the evening. Just because they've got to put the ball in play, hope for weak contact, see if you can get out of it.
Well, the base or the infield is in as this is a line shot to center field. The catch is going to be made. Dos Santos hustling on home. The throw not going to be in time as Ryan Dos Santos displays the speed there. It was an excellent throw from center field, but it could not get him. Hustle shows there for 17.
Double. Still unattainable. 2 runs. He's up here in a big spot. Again, been on twice today. Grounded into a double back in the first inning. Flew out pretty deep to right field as well. Other than that, he's been productive.
Looking down to the Royals bullpen, and I'm not seeing a lefty warm up. It looks like a righty, and if my guess had to be any, it would be Glavin Pineda, if it's not Kevin Escorcia, coming into this ball game.
Look at face righty, lefty, lefty. The next 3 up, Brantford in the 9th inning.
As this is lifted right field. Brody Black going back, and he's going to be able to make the catch. Tagging up and advancing is Gilbert, as Takamatsu gave it a ride to opposite field, but just didn't get enough of it.
Back-to-back long shots that have floating back and forth. It's like a month. This is second. It's gone on an error. Back in the second.
Geraldo, that's in there for strike 1. And again, yes, Geraldo had an RBI single, and then he had a second at bat where his first at bat was the error on the third baseman. Second at bat, RBI single.
This guy's quite sharp here. I know he's had a couple over the heart of the plate. One of them that was well barreled there for the run, but I mean, if you think about it, if you're Brantford, it's a good problem to have. If you got to get a pitcher back in for the bottom 9, it means you tied the ball game up.
Kazemka, 0-2 here to Geraldo. It's a breaking ball, and Torres takes off for second. He's in there standing. So the Royals finally get back on the board for the first time since the 3rd inning. They scored 1 in the first, 6 in the second, 2 in the third, and they've gone scoreless up until the 8th as Miggy fouls this off the back netting.
Yeah, that's why you got to take your opportunities. We talked about earlier when the door opens here in the Canadian Baseball League, you start to get the cascade effect going. That's second inning, right? Like, if they put 4 innings up on or 4 runs on the board, I should say, good inning for Guelph, right? But if that was the scenario, this would be a close ball game. The game sense would have been different. You would be seeing Kazemka on the mound. That's why when you get your opportunities, you got to find pay dirt here in the CDL.
1-2 count. Outside corner called, strike 3. Well, Christian Kazemka comes in and he only gives up 1 in a bases loaded, nobody out situation. We go to the 9th inning. It's a 3-run lead for the side of the Guelph Royals, and I believe we have a new pitcher coming to the ball game. It's Glavin Pineda coming in to get the save. We have more on him after the break.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Every team has a history. But the Royals have something bigger.
Derek Takamatsu, solo shot to right center field.
Generations of fans. Thousands of moments.
Gilbert puts a jolt into this one. High, deep, and it is way gone.
Memories that make this the Royal City. The Royals are entering a new era. Built on the history that brought us here. Shaped by the community that makes us who we are. St. Royal City. Catch the memories.
Top half of the ninth inning here. Glavin Pineda coming on here to try to get a save and comes out to the best warm-up song, Yakety Sack, otherwise known as the Benny Hill theme. Just, I don't know, we had the discussion in between innings about what your walk-up song would be. I mean, that's one that just, I think it sends fear into the opponents.
It's fun. Like anything that's off-putting, right? It's your rhythm. It's fun.
I mean, that's the best way to put it. They are definitely at a rhythm.
It's a tone shift.
You'd think you'd hear something like big and aggressive, heavy type song. Nope, Yakety Sack.
The Royals to as a home game, final decide at the end of the season, and then I think it's prefaced with
Yakety Sack. Oh my lord, that would be
Wonderful history.
tremendous. Oh, that's awesome. I really hope it happens now. Tim Hulk leading things off here in the ninth.
Offense.
0-2 now here to Hulk. Well, it's the running thing, right? I can't remember. Mason Miller, he is known now for his walk-ups, his entrance song. I can't remember what it's called now. Edwin Diaz with the trumpets. Louis Varland with Animal I've Become, 3 Days Grace. I think Mason Miller's a System of a Down. But, all these closers, they have the light shows, the big, heavy walk-up songs. Yep, Enter Sandman. And swinging through that for strike 3 is Tim Hulk. Blind by Corn. That's what it was. Yes. That was a very unique one. I thought it would have been really cool if he did the Marvel theme song because he had the gauntlet on the big screen. Yeah. Thought that would be a really cool one. Francisco Martinez coming up. He's been a real hot hitter here today. He's 2 for 4 in the last 2 at-bats. The bullpen has really been able to get him to kind of quiet off. he struck out swinging both times, but before that, he was hitting the ball real hard all over the field. First pitch, high and away, missing for a ball.
Look what was so effective about Martinez at the start of tonight's ball game. Both those hits weren't things right over the heart of the plate. He was kind of swinging to the fringes, just getting a little bit of contact on the end. But both of them did clear the infield, and they've really attacked him right over the heart of the plate. Since then, high velo hasn't quite been able to catch up.
Here's the 1-0. That's a breaking ball that cuts right back into the zone for a strike. It's 1-1. One and one count here. Again, the Guelph Royals trying to advance to a record of 25-17. Swung on and through. Martinez is behind 1-2. Welland Jackfish are 26-14. The Hamilton Cardinals 25-13. Again, the real big difference maker in this is the fact that the Hamilton Cardinals have less games played than the Guelph Royals. And that's kind of the effect that Hamilton holds right now. They could technically be fighting London for first place if they go on a really big win streak to end the season. Off speed, swung on and missed for strike three. Glaven Pineda, known for that fastball, but you can't forget about the lethal breaking ball. That he just displayed two perfect ones against Martinez.
Game on the mound here. Rose is going to come up for his third time. Chatham win their 4-2 over Toronto is going to hold the Maple Leafs at bay there. So the Red Sox will hold the 6th seed regardless of the result of this one.
Pineda, slow hold. First pitch here is in there for strike one.
You can see the dirt fly on board.
So I asked Donnie Fell about that, the first base coach for the Guelph Royals, and when I was up in Hamilton, and he said to me, he's like, I don't understand it because, you can just be playing catch with Ward, or he'll hit his glove with his hand, nothing. The second the baseball hits his glove from a pitch, cloud of smoke. Every time.
It's dirt buildup under the laces.
Yeah, I just said that's amazing that even if he pounds his own glove, that nothing happens.
How hard he throws. Pineda could throw a ball to my bare hand. Clap. Smoke. Oh my goodness, did he have great.
1-1 count here to Corosis. Here's the pitch. It's the off speed yet again, and that is just so devious to look at. You got to protect the mid-90s fastball, but then he comes back at you just with a lethal breaking ball that looks like it starts out in the other batter's box and just drops in right over the plate.
That's good.
One and two. Pineda leaning in. Gets his sign. Comes set. Here's the delivery. Got him. Glaven Pineda strikes out the side to secure the save and the win for the Guelph Royals. They take it 10-7 in 9.
They did exactly what you had to do. Once in the beginning, the storm, innings and big spots. Put up with it. Very impressed by some of everything. It's kind of a ball game here in Hastings Stadium. It was a pleasure joining alongside you today, Zach. And that was a great start to finish performance by a Guelph team. And they always look steady on the road. They always look effective. They travel well around the league. But I think today, seeing that high end, just seeing the bullpen and that nasty stuff here from the relievers live, makes me even more confident this team is going to be real. It's going to make some noise in the playoffs. And I can't wait. The idea of a play-in game between this Guelph team and the Barrie Baycats. I mean, how can you outlove Canadian baseball in 2026?
It should be a fun one. The Guelph Royals, they pick up win number 25 on the season. The winning pitcher will be Elvin Liriano losing pitcher Leandro Mejia. Glavin Pineda picks up save number 3 on the year. The Royals back at it Tuesday here at home, Hastings Stadium. You'll want to tune in for that one. Should be another thriller of a game as they're trying to fight for that third place spot in the CBL standings. That'll do it from us here at Hastings Stadium. Marshall Croker and Zach Benoit, we thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.